The Rap Roundtable.
Yes, sir. Episode 85 of the most dangerous, most influential, most inspirational, New York's #1 podcast for hip hop has returned. It's the Rap Roundtable here as always. You know, happy holidays and all of that. You know what I mean? Hope y'all ate good over, over the weekend. Hope the leftovers hit. Hope the alcohol hit. You know what I mean? Whatever you needed to hit, the spliffery, whatever. I hope it hit. You know what I'm saying?
If you're under 3,000, it's probably some ayahuasca or something.
Word, you know what I mean? Listen, whatever floats your boat. It's your boy Jarv here alongside Sid the Rap Snob.
What up?
Alongside Dini the Balance.
The force be with you.
Alongside the homie Mase.
What up, gang?
The subscriber count is increasing. You know, I think by the time this episode drops, you're gonna be looking at 12.2. So for all the new subscribers, everyone who keeps hitting that subscribe button, we love y'all. We appreciate y'all.
Thank you.
Keep running those numbers up. You know, at the rate we're going, maybe 15K by the, I said 20K the last episode, maybe 15 by the end of the year.
I didn't want to say you was wrong a little bit.
But listen,
20K next month. But hey, listen,
you never
let's
know,
put it out
man.
there. Let's put it out
We're
there.
the most
Make it happen.
aspirational podcast.
There we go.
Inspirational and aspirational.
We're gonna chase it. You know what I mean?
Positive applicant.
Listen, and as always,
We are tonight's entertainment.
one thing about the Rap Roundtable, if you're new here, we like to laugh, we like to have fun, but we're not a giggling ass podcast, and we're not a super serious podcast. Just lock in with us, get familiar. It's a lot of judgy comments for the new people that I've seen in the comment section who haven't figured the show out yet. Get comfortable. Get familiar before you start typing shit, and you'll figure out what's going on. For the people who are the long time listeners, they figured it out. They get it.
Yep.
And once you get it, you realize, I like this shit. You know what I mean?
Facts.
Even when niggas tried to sabotage this, people didn't leave because they like this shit. You know what I mean?
You could always expect some type of levity
Come on now.
in this podcast. You know what I mean? We talk about some serious shit. We take shit to heart, take it seriously, but then we turn around, crack a couple jokes, make sure that it's,
Like in the mood.
Life is serious, but it's not too serious.
Come on now.
We're Ochimali and we're one mic, guys.
There you go. You can't be both. You know what I'm saying? But nevertheless, fellas, let's get into this podcast. So Sid the Rap Snob threw something in the group chat that was very interesting. And it was a whole thing about 808s and Heartbreak. Shout out to Kanye West, an album that a lot of us in real time, a lot of us heads, we didn't care about, because after what he did from college dropout through graduation, it was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Facts.
Meanwhile,
I'm people.
yeah, me too.
There you go.
Meanwhile, the younger demographic, people who are closer to Mace's age, was really rocking with this album. And then it kind of led on to a lot of new musical acts who were spawned from that. So send through the tweet in the group chat where it's like, is the 808s and Heartbreaks album the top album family tree in rap history? So in this case, I don't know if I want to talk to Sin first or Mase, because this is a unique dichotomy.
That is. Sin,
You know
you
what I
want it? How you
Let's
feeling about
let's
it,
flip
Sin?
the ID. I ain't bringing it with me though.
Right, we in debate
You know,
mode
let's
right
try a
now.
little
That's
crazy.
crazy.
We'll go to Mase first only because
You got to tune
a
in,
lot of
y'all,
people
to get
that
the
you
puns.
like
Right,
spawned their careers from this album.
they did.
So do you agree that this is the greatest family tree in rap album history?
I disagree, guys.
Oh,
Thank you.
okay.
And I wanted
Thank
to,
you, Mase.
because I actually am not one of the heads who hated this album when it came out. I loved this album when it came out. I remember I bought this album in Mad Villainy the same day. You know what I mean?
it.
I don't think I went back to the library for a week, guys. I love this album. And
You did have a
You was
couple
mad
of
late on
random
Mad Villainy.
disappearances at the library that were unexplained.
you know how I go, man.
Yeah.
It's on brand for me.
Bro, you waited like 5 years for Mad Villainy?
I sure did.
He didn't know anybody.
Shouts to Joel Dumais. He the one who told me to buy that
Heavy
album.
Arms?
Yeah, man.
He was a big
the
Doom
one.
fan. He had the Doom dunks.
Yeah,
That dude worked out.
Joel.
He only did curls. He didn't work with no other part of his body in the gym, bro. Just this.
What's leg day?
What is leg day? What's ab day? What's chest day? Just arms.
Yo, and then he used to rock the super skinny jeans
No
too.
funny
Oh,
shit.
way back though, like
Yo.
before that was really a thing.
He was built like Mase with arms like Dini. Like, that's what I'm saying. Joel, I love you. But
Jax from Mortal
Kombat, Yo, we love you, man.
Shouts
Shout out
to
to
you,
Mase.
man. And shouts to you for the MF Doom, you know what I mean? Savage live, you know. But to bring it back to 808s, although I love this album, and although a lot of my favorite albums did span from this family tree, you know what I mean? Obviously, Drake, his whole career could kind of be traced back to this album.
Talk about
Kid Cudi, you know what I'm saying? amongst the, the guys who don't do it as well now with the melodies. You know what I mean? So I would love to, come up here and fake, like that's the case. But nah, to me, it's clearly straight out of Compton. I'm gonna be honest. Like that spawned Ice Cube's career, that which went into Death Row. That's Snoop Dogg. That's Pac's best material, which spanned into Eminem, which spanned into 50 Cent. Like it's endless. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna have to go with straight out of Compton in an easy landslide victory for best family tree.
Unexpected turn of events. I fully expected you to put the cape on and celebrate this project, your youth, your hip hop fandom, etc. Sincere the Rap Snob, talk to me.
Yes,
man.
yes. First of all, shouts to Kanye West. Salute to him. Salute to this album, even though I wasn't a big fan, but it is celebrating 15 years. That's where this whole conversation got started from. People who was talking about it heavy on Twitter. And yeah, man, I'm looking at the graphic of the family tree, and it shows how like this album led to the likes of Drake, Kid Cudi, as Mase mentioned. They threw Future in there. I don't know how much I feel that goes in there, but which led to like, Young Thug, the Migos, Travis Scott, and a slew of other people that came from there.
Wayne branch more than the Ye branch.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But Wayne is definitely in that conversation as well. But I do want to give a shout out to Kanye West because he's such a like just all out legend, bro. Like he gave us College Dropout, he gave us Late Registration, Graduation, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, and somewhere in that mix he dropped this Left Field album that spawned a whole different subgenre of hip hop, whether you like it or hate it or love it. Like this is his DNA in all of these newer artists that we see. So on the one hand, I have to give him his flowers for having that kind of impact on the game. On the other hand, as an old head, you know what I mean? This was not my favorite sound. It was not my favorite album. I don't spin this album at all, like ever. Maybe I might spin Heartless. You know what I mean? Maybe So Amazing. That's about as far as it goes with this album. You know what I mean? So it is very highly influential. But the most influential hip-hop album of all time, come on. It's Paid in Full, y'all.
Oh, okay.
It's fucking Paid in Full.
Okay.
Listen, man.
Break it down for us. Look,
man. Look. You trace.
I thought you was gonna say Illmatic. I ain't gonna lie.
Trace back the lineage. Nah, even before Illmatic, man. You trace back the lineage. It's everything. It goes from before Rakim and Paid in Full to after Rakim and Paid in Full. Nobody was rhyming the way Rakim was rhyming before Paid in Full. Rakim came in, flipped the whole game on its side, and from there we got the Nazis, we got the Biggies, we got the Jays, we got everybody in Wu-Tang. You know what I mean? We got Mobb Deep, we got to the south, we got Outkast, to the west, we got The Game, to the newer generation, the new big three, Cole, Kendrick, and Drake when he decides to rap.
Wow.
And then you go into the underground, you know what I mean? The Mos Defs, Kweli's, the Black Thoughts, the Ransoms, the Royces. Bro, everybody's lineage it's traced back to Rakim.
To the God.
The God. Everything from Paid in Full forward, just a completely different game. Before that, you know what I mean? You had, it started out in the park. And after that, completely different story. You know what I mean? Give the flowers where they're due.
We can't make this shit
Eric B. and
up.
Rakim Paid in Full.
That was just, I don't know. You know how you watch ball and you know when that player is gonna have a good night? I think this might be a 40 ball tonight. Cause wow, what an argument.
And we can't even give, like with Kanye, we can't even give like the whole credit to him because like the auto-tune thing was T-Pain and Wayne doing it before him. So, you know what I mean? He did at the 808s, but most influential, no. Let's keep it a buck.
I'm not mad at that. Do you need a balance? Hop in here, bro. Pause.
Like I would have had Illmatic. You know what I'm saying? But what I will say is
I gotta aim myself. That was crazy.
Salute. What I will say is this. That album, say what you want, man. I know people say it's T-Pain inspired, but T-Pain was like a big deal, bro. Like in his own genre.
Nigga, man.
And when he started like doing the little features in Yeah, didn't he actually recruit T-Pain to help him with the album?
Yeah, he
As
did.
far as getting the sonics right and everything,
Kanye
sonically,
recruits everybody.
Well,
who's making an
yeah,
album.
I was about to say Kanye is the GOAT at recruiting
at
the right
getting
people.
the best output, no matter what. Like the whole thing is about the music, you know. And I just feel like sonically, like the energy that shit brought, like that shit really set the tone for niggas to get real emotional on their records. Like you see how niggas is singing their hearts out over bitches nowadays.
Hey, man.
Like that, he made that cool. Like that was not a cool thing to do back in the
Did
days. Everything. Come on, bro.
Is it cool?
I mean, it's what we have today. It's the generation we live in today. You wouldn't have like the Rod Waves that people love and all that.
Hey,
You wouldn't have those
speak on
kind of
it.
dudes.
Speak on
you know,
it.
so you wouldn't have. I mean, you wouldn't have your Uzis. You wouldn't have a lot of people, bro. You wouldn't have a lot of people that's really like cooking today.
Roddy Rich, Jarvis,
Roddy,
the other day.
we basically just talked about this on the lunch hour. Like, there's a lot of people that's fused with that same lineage. There's a lot of people that came with that auto tune, and that auto tune was basically the blueprint of whatever you're gonna do. Like Future, I would say Future with the 808s too, because once you got with Zaytoven and all that, there was a lot of 808s in the music. 808 Mafia, there was a lot of that in the music. So it kind of is, you know, Future just shit is from more like a drug trap perspective, you know what I'm saying? But as far as the music, bro, it's in the same vein. When Future gets singy, you know what I'm talking about, Jarv.
Yeah.
When he gets singy to the joints, on some like honest, when he's doing his shit like that,
tough,
it does
too.
kind of roll in that same family, bro. So in that light,
I don't like singing Future. You know that.
I fuck with it.
I love
though.
Super
Me
Trap
too.
of Future.
You
That's
love
that's like my spirit
DS2.
animal for rap.
I feel you.
When he's trapping and the bass is ignorant, I'm getting speeding tickets.
Commas
You know what I
type
mean?
shit.
Yes.
All right, you know, but he set the trends. We got to give Kanye. Kanye has set a lot of trends, bro. I know he's kind of bugged out now, but I'm gonna give him his respect on this. I would say that might just be, bro. It
not
might just
bad.
be. It's because it spawned an entire generation of what we see today. An entire generation. We've seen what we did with the '90s, but what we see today, that's the entire sound, bro. Like,
That's interesting.
you know, even when you
Sounds
take NWA, like niggas didn't exactly take NWA sound per se. You get what I'm saying? Maybe this aesthetic of the gangsterness, you know. But
That's a big deal.
Because
Who
you could argue that, to Mace's point, that G-Funk was something else entirely. The whole Death Row G-Funk era is something else. It spawned from,
There you go.
but that was something else entirely.
But when we listen to the 808s, even though I know y'all niggas ain't digging it like that, when you listen to it and you listen to the shit now, it's very similar, bro. You know what I'm saying? Which means they took exact lineage, not just like, I like that little piece, I'm gonna ride with it. They ran with that formula. So I'll give him his props.
That's interesting. So we got one on the board for this being the most inspirational.
Salute to
album.
Ye.
So I'm gonna read off the family tree here. You know, so from 808s and Heartbreaks, based on this graphic, the big three that came from it are Drake, Future, and Kid Cudi. From Drake, you led into The Weeknd, which also leads into Tory Lanez, Party Next Door, 6 Lack, and Bryson Tiller. If you don't know who 6 Lack is, that's Black with a 6. You know what I mean?
Facts.
From Future, and we talked about this on the lunch hour, you have Migos and Young Thug, which then transitions into 21 Savage, Gunna, and Lil Baby. Somebody was trying to tell me that Gunna was a Thug clone, and I'm like, if you listen to Gunna, bro, that's heavily on R&B Future. When Future's in the singing bag, that's Gunna. But Gunna just has a better voice, but he's better with the melodies, in my opinion. Kid Cudi, from Kid Cudi, you have Travis Scott, and from Travis Scott, you have Don Toliver, Lil Uzi, Trippie Redd, Juice WRLD, Sheck West. I'll take Trippie Redd off of that. That's a Wayne clone. I think we're getting that wrong. You know what I mean? But
He does
based
the auto-tune singing a lot too. That's
but
right.
but based on this, it's hard to argue with it because to give Kanye some flowers, he is the Rakim to Sin's argument of this era. He birthed all of it. I think a lot of his conflict with Drake is because he birthed all of these guys and then Drake surpassed him almost immediately. That's something we don't talk about enough here. We know Drake is persona non grata at the rap roundtable as far as the chat goes.
Right.
But we're always going to talk about Drake because Drake is great. And even if his pen is a question, the music is there. It is what it is.
Sonically amazing.
Drake ran past Ye by like the second album as far as
Honestly.
impact in the space. And Kanye's been struggling with that ever since. Because it went from My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, and then Drake said, thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
It's mine now. You know what I'm saying? And then it became an avalanche. And I think that's where the quarrel is. But if you're looking at the entire space, hell yeah, I can see it. I can see it. I wanna disagree. But it's like if everybody on this list is, if you put it on the radio, that's them. They control this shit, with the exception of Kendrick and Cole. The only thing I'll say is, and I'll strap on the cape, Let's go back to New York 20 years ago.
Right.
I feel like the Dynasty album was almost important for the modern New York sound. You know what I mean? Because for the Dynasty album, you had like a lot of the fucking Beanie Sigel's first 2 albums, really. The entire Dipset sound is spawned off of that. A lot of the guys who were trying to come up during that time. The sample era, the soul sample, the heavy on the horns, the big drums. That was a lot of that came out of the Dynasty, but then it didn't stick. We died. You know what I mean? even Fabulous got in the soul sample game for a second. You know what I mean? So I could say that, but I got a hard time. Like I want to agree with Sin. Because like Rakim is Rakim. But if we're just talking about like the impact of all of these guys and who they brought up alongside them, I'm with Dini on this one, bro.
I can't be mad at y'all, especially when we skew it to what's going on right now.
Currently, yeah.
Right now,
these guys are
understand.
megastars.
I still ride with my argument.
Man.
These guys are megastars. Everybody he names is a big star.
Man.
You know,
But
like stars.
every flow, every cadence, every delivery, every multi-syllable trace back to Rakim, man.
I feel like
God.
Are they rhyming multi-syllable
with
today?
that pick, bro.
They talk about it.
You think what?
You cheating, bro.
Are they multi-syllabic?
How is
today,
it
Sin?
cheating? It's real life.
Sin, are they rhyming multi-syllabic today, bro? What's
The
going
people
on?
we talking about.
Drake does.
Drake.
Yeah.
There's a few.
None of them
That's not
niggas-
the
none of
primary
them niggas
sound
you
of
named,
today.
Yo, listen, the big three is still
It's not our fault they're not good.
Cole, Drake, and Kendrick
Whoa.
until further notice.
I'm
We're
just
just
saying.
speaking on the times.
I'm just saying.
Is there anybody? Is there a wild card in this argument that we're not considering? Like, is
There a wild card
is
in this?
does what Wu bring to the
I
table?
had-
Did Wu spawn anything?
I had Straight Outta Compton on my list as well. Slash The Chronic. That split.
I had to add
And
Ice
then
Cube, so.
Yeah. And Illmatic. I don't know.
Chat. Throw some joints in the chat that you think are like the
Modern
most influential.
albums? What y'all
What about
think?
who's responsible for the Mafioso era and all the artists that came out after that?
Cool G-Rap.
G-Rap. So G-Rap treat ain't strong?
Honestly, because when you really go to it, like when
Coke Rap.
when was G-Rap first on record?
That's a good question, man. And I always tell myself I'm gonna go back and do the knowledge, get my Mase on and do my OD research. But I never get around to it. I always forget.
Because that's a good point. When it comes to rhyme styles, Rakim, although he does get all the credit, G-Rap, man.
G-Rap is right there.
G-Rap,
What about
man.
Kane?
Kane was a little bit after.
Hove looks
Kane
at
was a
Kane
little
as,
after.
you know what I mean? If you
Definitely-
ask
definitely
Hove,
with the
he's in the
Brooklyn
Kane
MCs.
family tree.
Definitely with the Brooklyn MCs.
Kane was a little after to me. You know what I mean? But I can understand because that's when you break it up, right? Because the Rakim, Nas to J. Cole lineage is something people separate from the Kane to Jay-Z to Drake lineage. You feel what I'm saying?
And see,
But-
this is one of those situations where we don't claim to know everything, every single
not
nuance,
experts.
We don't
and
know
every
it.
single
Yeah.
detail of the history. Chat, if anybody has a timeline of Cool G Rap to Rakim to Kane, you know what I mean? Because
Put
they
us
all
on.
they all got super busy with the, they all were in that mix with that flow and that delivery, and changing the game in terms of spitting. So I know Kane came a little bit after, but if y'all got a timeline between G-Rap and Rakim, drop it in the comments
And
in
who
the
do you,
chat.
and in general, pick your tree. Maybe you got an artist we're not considering right
Facts.
here who dropped a project or did something that spawned off on something else entirely. Or maybe Dr. Dre. Forget Straight Outta Compton album. Maybe Dre himself. Maybe it's him specifically.
That's what I think. I ain't gonna lie. I think Dre is like the the lightning bolt.
Because wouldn't you connect Kendrick to Drake and basically the whole TDE? Would that go back to Dre's lineage?
That's that West Coast.
Yeah.
I
would,
would.
yeah.
And then when you talk about it, when you really break it down, Dre to 50 in the game, that's also the West Coast shit. Dre to 50. If you remember, 50 was the one who put together Pop Smoke's posthumous album. You know what I'm saying? The lineage could go to nowadays if you really want to, go there.
I didn't think about the pop.
Would you have to add
saying,
Shady to
It
it
might
too?
be Dre, bro.
I'm saying,
And you would have to add Shady.
Yeah.
of course.
So that's
Which gets to
major.
Griselda.
You know, that's hefty. That's hefty.
And I want to put
Dre.
Griselda with Wu-Tang as far as the aesthetics,
crew-wise and all that.
Right. It's
It's a lot.
It's a lot, man.
It's a lot
Chat,
of roots,
what y'all feeling? And don't
You know what?
don't put no fluff in there neither.
We might have
no
to
soldier
sit
boy,
down,
chat.
do some research, and then put our own. You know how how the cops do that shit where they have like crime families, the board,
Yeah.
and all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe we need to make a rap
the
round
string
table,
and all that.
hip hop family
Connections.
tree grid, and then let y'all decide if our shit is right.
Hey,
let us know,
man.
thumbs up or thumbs down if you want us to do some shit like that in the future. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Because that'd be some fun shit. We try to have a little more fun here at the rap round table.
We trying, y'all.
You know what I mean?
Road to Riches was 1989.
When was the symphony?
So, but I feel like the symphony was earlier.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
88. 88. But Paid in Full was 87.
87, which
So-
means it was being made in 86.
Ooh,
God
man.
rock.
God,
Oh,
right,
man.
Kim.
18 letters.
Oh
It
man,
goes back to the R himself.
the God came. All came out wasn't no more niggas crushing jelly beans, bro. I'm gonna let you know that shit.
Wow. Where's Kendrick at? Wow. What are we doing here?
Shouts to the meatballs, boys.
Yo.
No more putting face in the sand?
Nah,
no
man.
more of that.
No muscle bound men in here, bro.
We're at the table. You know what I mean? Nah, all right. But moving on.
Oh, man.
Before we continue on, the beat you hear in the background is produced by Sincere the Rap
The
Star.
one and only.
You know what I mean?
Super
sincere.
producer.
Make sure you hit that like button. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Facebook. You can find a Rap Roundtable on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and of course YouTube. Get familiar. You know what I mean? Make sure y'all lock in and get focused. There's a lot of content coming out. You see, we're making some tweaks to what we do here. Make sure that you follow us on social so that you are completely locked in. Don't miss out. Then be like, oh, you didn't tell us. I'm telling you right now. So, Sincere the Rap Snob.
Yes, sir.
You know, you are notorious in our lineage of being the person that puts us on to new artists, music, or person that we need to pay attention to. Whether we listen to you right away or not, it's usually you who brings...
Y'all come around.
Yeah,
We do. Eventually.
It's usually you who brings someone to the table. So my question would be,
motherfucker again.
and is another
Fuck.
another tweet, you know what I mean, that you put out there, and it's like, what's hip hop's main hub for finding emerging talent in 2023? Luca Guerini tweeted that, and I'm like,
Yeah.
you know what? I'm gonna go to Sincere first. Based on how you find acts, what's the best
Shit.
way to find new artists?
Oh, man. That's a really good question. Yeah, usually it comes from my Twitter algorithm and my timeline on Twitter, because that's usually where I spend the most amount of time perusing, doom scrolling, you know what I mean, killing time. Yeah, and I'm pretty active on there too. Follow me if you haven't, you know what I mean, if you're not one of the 2,000 plus that is following me right now. Yeah, I would have to say Twitter, you know what I mean, but it's a really interesting question that person put out there, because like I feel like since the taking over of social media in our lives, in our culture, it's not everything is flip-flop. Everything is 180 now, because we used to have the industry and the labels and the media platforms dictate to us, you know what I mean, who the new artists were, who's breaking through, who's hot, who's not. And now it's completely, 180. You know what I mean? Like, the people are the ones dictating on social media. And sometimes it'll be in earnest. Other times it'll be on some just like, I don't know, unserious, just kind of fucking around shit. Like, Sexy Red, I feel, is like, people just want to share her because look at this chick. But then now it becomes part of the algorithm, and
Get
people
Sexy
fit into
Red
it.
out of here, bro.
That's a
Carry
fact.
on. Just get her out of here, bro.
But it's very
Have a
interesting
healthy child
how the
culture.
industry now is on the receiving end, because it's the people dictating to the industry what they should be doing. And I didn't think it was perfect when the industry was dictating shit, but but the reverse of it is also not perfect. A nice balance would be nice, you know what I mean? But yeah, it's a very interesting question. And usually with me, I find things on Twitter. That's how where I discovered Rome Streets was on Twitter.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Macito, from your perspective, how do you find new artists in 2023?
Sin made a great point about, how it's almost like the NBA, right? They mad that the players are putting together super teams, but when the GMs put together super teams, it was fine, right? So I actually, I've been thinking about this for a while. Like, people long for the old days in the music industry when it was a bunch of payola, it was a bunch of smoke and mirrors, it was a bunch of gatekeeping, it was a bunch of the same shit now. You know what I'm saying? So it's interesting that, when the young people become old, they don't realize that it's all the same. We all in the same matrix as like 1973, pretty much. But I think I have two different answers to this question, because if I'm correct, the tweet themselves asked how do labels figure it out, right? And I think the labels just strictly have their own numbers, shit. You know what I mean? You got 500K on IG. You got, you get 5,000 likes per Twitter post. You know what I mean? The sound that you use on TikTok is going up for the youngsters. You know what I mean? I think that's how labels are finding their shit out. And, look at the game. It makes sense. Me personally, I think we often speak about the different niches in hip hop, right? And the different subsections of shit that you're going to find. And I find that, like, you find artists different ways. You know what I mean? First time I heard Lil Baby, you know what I mean? Forgive me, Mayor Adams. I know you got your own shit going on. I was buying weed before it was legal. I was in the trap. I heard Lil Baby bumping, bro. I was like, what the fuck is that, bro? It's this new nigga, Lil Baby, bro. And we was off. That's the infamous freestyle. You know what I mean? When it comes to Griselda, I found out Griselda for the first time on the internet. You know what I mean? The web forums, shout to the Kali, shouts to Kanye, to the, you know what I mean? Shouts to, back in the day, all hip hop, you know what I mean? When y'all shit used to go up, so, and then there's other artists like the mainstream artists. I'm not gonna lie, I found out from the kids, you know what I'm saying? So I think there's so many niches in hip hop that you find out about niggas completely different ways. You know what I mean? There's some people you find out when you just outside, you know what I mean? And you be like, that's the shit outside. I remember the summer of, or the summer into fall of 2019 where I heard Fabio Foreign everywhere. And I'm like, who is this? Big Drip, what the fuck is this? You heard that shit everywhere, bro. I had to figure out what the fuck this was. It gave me fucking 2002 Wanksta vibes because I heard it out of every single car, bro. So it's like, I think depending on the artist, you're gonna figure it out different ways. Now, if you yourself are limited into what you do, you might only know about certain artists. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's different places for different type of shit.
Heard it. Do you need to balance? What's your take?
I think it's kind of like your surroundings, like we already named off all the avenues we used to have to go hear new music. So now we have other things. One of the biggest sources I realized is your bros. If you got a good source of bros who fuck with hip hop, they're going to constantly be sending you shit. You're going to constantly be sending them shit. That's a huge avenue. Being outside, a lot of times, like, a lot of artists would debut to me just like in the spot, just like, oh, who's this shit? And this was a new song that just came out of nowhere and was like just taking off, I think the first time I heard Cardi when she was rapping was in a spot. I never heard Cardi like I'm not a real big Twitter dude, so a lot of people use TikTok now. For me, YouTube's a big one. If you type in like
TikTok is huge, bro.
Like new drill music or new
Adrian.
soundscapes or whatever you're looking for. You know what I'm saying? Like for the new lo-fi, you know what I'm saying? You'll definitely find something and you bounce from there. You might be introduced to an artist from there. You go through the catalog. You see from their catalog, they got people they did maybe one song with, maybe several songs with. You go tap into that person's catalog and it kind of trickles and matriculates from there. Be like, it's a lot of different avenues. If you have children, what are the kids listening to? You got a kid that's, 20, 21? That's a whole different
22.
sound. 22. Shout out to Lil J. It's a whole different sound that he's listening to from what you used to, He can introduce you, as I'm sure he has, to a whole different sound. He had you listening to, who was it? Was it A Boogie with the hoodie?
Yeah. A-Boogie.
You know what I'm saying? Like shit like that.
Every morning.
You got young.
I got the young kids.
You got the young boys, so they got their little sound right now. Whatever they listen to, they might be on that. They might be on 41 right now. 41 bent. So you know the job for putting me onto that. And that's my shit. I love them dudes. They
just dropped this
and the
week,
girl,
too.
but
Shout
they
out to them.
great music. You find out from different ways, bro. Like there's so many ways. You have to just want the music. We don't have the club. We don't have the DJ that was on for 2 hours. We don't have the K Slays cooking like they used
You're not
to.
spoon feeding it.
You know what
no
I'm saying?
more,
We don't have
bro.
the clues to break new music. And it depends on the kind of music you want to listen to. If you want to, when you listen to Q, that's when niggas want to tap into heavy boom bap tunes. That's when you had your, like, outside of the classic shit you played, when you introduced us to like Joe Buttons, Fabulous, the A-Team, shit like that, you know? Ransom and them, like. But other than that, like, you had to really just know where to go. Nowadays, there's so many different avenues, you know?
Does anybody actually use or trust the Discover tab in Apple Music or Spotify?
I don't even look at that shit.
That shit
For
it
us,
just
for
sits
us.
there.
But
I
for
just
them,
let them shuffle whatever they
for the
gonna
youth,
play.
I feel like the youth will
It's
stumble
usually
upon something they
non-stop
like.
by
in that.
Drake.
Not us,
They play that after everything.
but I
Non-stop again.
you know-
What the fuck?
big record though.
Well,
I just played a Wu-Tang record.
he
Non-stop.
is an Apple Music property. But anyway, for me, I would say it's word of mouth. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of the music that I come across, it's someone telling me, maybe, oh, you should fuck with such and such. You should fuck with such and such. And I'm like, all right, you know, maybe I will, maybe I won't. You know what I mean? And if I like it, like the Rolling Streets example is key. I think the first time around I fronted, and then Deanie, I think Deanie dropped, was it 96 Naughty?
96 Naughty Windbreaker
And
shit.
then when I listened to that, I just fell into the rabbit hole, and I'm like, oh, this nigga's
This
And then I
filthy.
think I came back to the group chat, and I'm like, yo, this shit is fire. So now when you guys tell me, yo, tap in, all right, I'm gonna fuck with it. When the Black Stop tells me to tap into some shit, I'll tap into it. Mase, you made a point, because I work in schools. When Fabio was popping, that's how I came across Fabio. I used to work on the 5th floor, and the gym was on the 5th floor, and the kids like the gym teacher would let the kids have control of the radio for the period. So as I'm walking through, and I'm hearing bow bow bow, I'm like, what?
Bow,
What the fuck is that? And you go in there, and it's like they dancing.
Going crazy.
I didn't know what twirling was until I worked in that school. It was twirling. It was getting sturdy, and I'm like, who's that? So I asked one of the little senior niggas. I'm like, yo, who that? He's like, oh, that's Fabio Four. And I'm like, oh, all right, let me look him up. Oh, I like this Fabio.
That's a fact.
Same thing with Pop Smoke. When Pop Smoke had what was it? Welcome to the Party. I'm like, what's
that.
this? Oh, that's Pop Smoke. He's from Canarsie. Oh, all right, bet. You know what I mean? I think you guys told me about Stove God. Like, there's no artist that I stumbled across by accident. Every artist that I've tapped into or I fell in love with, I was told about it. So for me, it's word of mouth, or just happen to be at the right place at the right time. But I don't think, because the thing is, this tweet, I want to pull it up again. Give me 1 second, y'all. Bear with me.
It's crazy, Joe.
The question was asked as far as like XXL freshman classes are done, unsigned hype
Blogs.
columnist isn't around, the blogs are no longer dominant. This is the fact. To me, it's just about, to Mace's point, online presence, and then how that online presence converts into conversation, and that conversation usually gets to me. You know what I mean? I would say more so in the last year, I've maybe found more artists because of the podcast, just perusing and shit.
Right.
But the niggas who are fire, y'all niggas told me, or the streets told me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's how I think it should go. Like, the game is weird. You know what I mean? I don't know how to,
It
you know
is.
what I mean? It ain't what it used to be.
Yeah,
It
it's
is.
interesting because we
a
don't
free-for-all,
we
man.
don't have, like, you say word of mouth.
Mm-hmm.
You're hearing that from somebody that you know and trust, and there used to be like persons or entities in the industry or industry adjacent that we used to kind of feel like we know and trust them, and if they say, yo, this person's hot, we're gonna pay attention. There's nobody that's like that anymore.
Not at all.
It's just it's the internet, the algorithm.
You don't trust
that
Flex?
is-
Flex?
No way.
And you
asking.
mentioned that, Sin, and it's really because of the veil being taken down. Because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, the youngins seen what happened in our era. So that they seen that niggas was bought and paid for. We used that before, right? So the youngins see, like, the OGs, as much as we revere them, the youngins is like, these niggas was taking payola.
To be
These
fair,
niggas was
Mace,
doing this.
I gotta push back for payola, but now this is the era of the plant. Like, this plant's everywhere.
Yeah.
Niggas at the CIA gave a sexy right, nigga. Like, you know what I mean?
Trying to infiltrate.
You know,
I'll stand
We've
on
had
that.
the conversation that even though it's a new term, industry plant existed
Yes,
way
yeah.
back
Yeah,
then. You know,
yeah.
I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah,
you know what
yeah.
I mean?
Yeah, outside is definitely, because that's why I was introduced to Pop Smoke when Pusha brought him out at the show. and Coney Island.
Yes.
And I was like, yo, I think I heard this song before. That's when he did that, and he did Dior. And niggas was like, oh shit, like I never heard these songs as far as like out loud like that, but I'm like, I knew these were hits. And from there, like, he literally took off, like, since that day, bro. Like, in RIP.
And I know we hate the internet, but the internet really is what puts you on to the nice niggas, if you ask me. True. Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's
like,
true.
First time I heard about Mac was on the internet, bro. Like, first time I heard about, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Rome was through y'all. You know what I mean? The legendary Rome Streets Rap Roundtable interview.
Oh.
But it's like, a lot of the nice niggas, the people who actually rap, that's the internet, if you ask me, bro.
Like, it's like I'll give
Mick
Lang
Jenkins, like, a lot of niggas that's
Lang,
like,
Lang put me on the Lupe. So, you know,
I was outside for Lupe. I ain't
you know what I'm
lying.
saying? So you
Internet
do
is
get
a gift and the curse, man.
You know, that's one of my favorite artists. So
I
you
kinda
sometimes
depends on
a
your
nigga introduce you
algorithm,
to
right?
one of your favorite artists, you know?
Well, no, I think the internet is part of the reason why we digest things so quickly. Because like I saw a tweet today from Cobb. I think he's in Joe Budden's camp.
Yeah.
And he was saying, oh, like
That
Scare,
Drake shit.
the Scary Hours 3 album came and went. And I'm like, to me, no, it didn't. I listen to that shit every day.
Yeah.
But it's like, if it's not carrying the conversation, it's like it comes and goes. But it's like, what about the person who's going to work, going home and playing 6 tracks back to back? You know what I mean?
But just not tweeting about it.
Right.
Yo,
Just enjoying the music.
I'm 1,000% glad you mentioned that tweet, because when I saw that tweet last night, I thought the same thing as you, Job. I'm like, we have to stop saying shit came and went, because only the fans of the artist are talking about an album after the week it drops anyway. Like, so it might be more fans depending on the artist, but everything came and went. Unless you like are in that fan base, everything comes and goes, bro. So, Job, I'm glad you mentioned that, because when I saw that tweet, I'm like, come on, bro. Like,
the internet has kind of trained niggas to have it where when the album drops that day, the album is the conversation that day, and if it's really fire, it spills over into Saturday and maybe Sunday. But by
really
Monday, right?
Yeah.
But by Monday, we move on. We back at work, and we back to our usual routine or whatever personal playlist we already made. We back listening to that shit.
Whatever sticks.
we grown men, bro.
That's
like,
a fact.
let's be honest.
You know what I mean? Next topic. We have Benny the Butcher. You know, he's in I would say a long-term rollout for Everybody Can't Go. Like, I think from our perspective, we didn't like how the rollout started as far as where it's supposed to be at. But I'm starting to figure it out now. Like, he's doing this Twitter thing. He did the listening. He's arguing with fans, shit like that. But it's like, I don't think that's a good idea that he's arguing with fans. Maybe that's just me. I'm one person. But there was a tweet that came out from Brick Van Exel, and he had a conversation with Benny the Butcher. That's a fact. Benny says, I'm on a 7-year run. Only 3 years away from the 10-year run I promised y'all on One-Way Flight. Brick Van Exel says, but the last 4 years been late career Vince Carter, big dog. Oof. Oof. Benny responds and says, this is what I mean by y'all little opinions. Numbers never went down, champ, only However, however you feel personally, it's not the reality of the situation. God bless you. You know, when you get hit with the God bless,
With the God
niggas
bless.
is tight.
It's hit a nerve.
Niggas is tight. Yeah.
I've been told God bless before, man. And no good.
Brick Van Exel responds and says, I've been rocking with you since my first Brick and Butcher on roids, and I got a frame of your album in my crib. No one rocks with you more than me, but I gotta keep it a stack. You're not hitting the beats the same way you used to. Go listen to Butcher on roids. I'm always rooting for you. Benny says that's an opinion. You're most likely a boom bap guy. It's a fact, numbers go up every time. Opinions over facts. So, this is not the first time Benny's kind of been like a little frustrated with the public perception of him and people's talking points when it comes to his name. This is part of the rollout, I'm assuming. The chip on the shoulder is as big as a boulder.
That's the thing.
Dina, you hear this conversation. You see where Benny's going with this rollout for Everybody Can't Go. What do you think about the conversation? What do you think about where Benny's trying to take the conversation about him as an artist?
I was in lockstep, but obviously sin brought me back to ground. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Sin brought me back to life. It hasn't been a rough 4 years. It's been a rough like year and a half. You know, so
if that, I'd say a year.
Yeah. Well, Tanner Talk 4 didn't hit the streets like I thought it would. You know, so I'm gonna count that too. I mean, you kind of set we talked about it, man. You set the tone when you next album out of Def Jam like DMX, like you set the tone for people to like have high expectations, and this thing keeps getting pushed back. And you know, we're thinking pushbacks usually mean, you know, usually not positive things. You know, it could be a creative just direction, just going different ways. He wants to do something, the label wants to do something else. It's usually something that's not positive. The streets been wanting this for a long time. He's a wintertime nigga too. Like he makes ski mask music. You know what I'm saying? This is the perfect time for some new Benny. I wasn't the biggest fan of the track with Wayne, but I'm assuming there's a lot more in the tuck. But I mean, once you get on the internet, you respond to the comments, bro. You're subjected to anything that you're gonna get. You get what I'm saying? Like I go online, granted, I don't get the Smoke Benny gig. I'm just a regular nigga, but I see shit all the time. Like I ain't going back and forth with these niggas. I'm gonna be here all day. Like Benny, obviously, like you shouldn't have the time. You get what I'm saying? You should be in the studio perfecting the shit out of this music that we want to hear from you. And anything less than that to me is, in Charles Barkley's words, uncivilized, bro. Like I'm not here for it. I want the music. All this talking. Dude made a point. Brick Van Exel. It's been. Everybody else has been ascended. You know, Conway has ascended since that time. Westside, even though that last album wasn't my particular favorite, he's ascended since that time. As far as new ground, new territory, it's time for Benny to do the same. That's it.
Okay, so what do you think about that?
I think Brick Van Exel gotta chill out a little bit.
Oh, okay.
You gotta relax.
Okay.
Because I mean, I see
Are
what
you
he's
asking
saying.
Brick Van Exel?
The fuck are you talking about?
A little bit.
Are you asking if Brick Van Exel?
Get rid of this guy.
A little bit, yes.
Elaborate.
I'm leaning towards
Like,
that.
who is this guy?
Facts.
Where he
Okay,
come from?
all right,
Yeah.
And why do we fucking keep acting like he's somebody that we need to fuck with? Get rid of this guy.
Off my lawn early.
Okay.
Nah, but he does have to relax a little bit because I see what he's saying, and there's a lot of people out there that feel this way. They think that since Tanner Talk 3, Benny the Butcher has been on a downhill slide. And I don't agree with that sentiment one bit. You know what I mean? I do think Tanner Talk 3 was an amazing album, amazing project, right? Some people will call it a modern day classic. You know what I mean?
Tanner Talk 3?
Tanner Talk 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
People love
I'm
Tanner
making
Talk
sure.
3.
Yeah.
Tanner Talk
Yeah.
Tanner Talk 3 was that.
Tanner
Yeah.
Talk 3 was what
Not
changed
full,
the
not
conversation
full.
about
Yeah.
him as an artist.
I thought he said 4.
on the overground.
Right.
Did I say 4?
You said 3.
I might
I
have
said
said
3.
Okay, I might
You
have.
had-
thought.
If I slipped,
But
my
3 is a masterpiece.
Yeah,
Agreed.
Tanner Talk 3 was crazy. So when he says, the last 4 years have been Vince Carter level, he's talking about the plugs I met, which is crazy. He's talking about Burden of Proof, and that's the project that was so divisive in the space. You know what I mean? Because people coming off of Tanner Talk 3 were like, yo, I want more of the Alchemist and Derringer. What's this Hit Boy shit? You know what I mean? But Burden of Proof, listen, shit.
Great music.
I love it.
I was sold after Burden of Proof. You couldn't tell me shit.
Jaw might probably loves it more than I do. And then the plugs I met too, which wasn't as good as the first one, but it was still a fire project to me. These are all great projects. If Benny has been struggling, I would say maybe the last year, right? Since he, the Def Jam thing started, and he started rolling that out, and he started saying shit like, I'm gonna have the best Def Jam debut since DMX. Ever since that, he's struggled to really gain footing in that new space that he's in. But these plugs I met, Burden of Proof, and plugs I met too, crazy projects. So to say he's been Vince Carter for the last 4 years, the fuck out of here, bro.
Get the fuck out of here.
Masito, what do you think about that, bro?
Interesting. Real quick, Sin, when did Stabbed and Shot 2 drop?
Stabbed and Shot. Oh,
It might have been 2018.
2018. All right, so that fall.
Shout out Walt with the
the
assist in the cut.
Shout to Walt, stabbing and shooting niggas, man.
The great.
Listen,
Yo.
Walt the great.
the Ginobili of the
The
team.
Rap
you heard?
Roundtable.
Euro stepping all over you, engineer niggas.
Shit.
Man, it's hard being an artist, bro. And I done came through in every Benny segment. I say in the last 3-4 segments, I done let the 50 cal go off. You know what I'm saying? Like closed casket type shit. You know what I'm saying? But if we gonna be honest here, man, it's hard being an artist, bro, because it's like, what is he supposed to do here? You know what I'm saying? Your day ones are upset because they don't want you to grow any more than you did, but like that's what you get into the music industry for. You know what I mean? To take y'all behind the veil. Even us as content creators are battling that. You know what I mean? Making sure the Miss LBs and the Marcoses and the Jadorians and all of y'all still fuck with us, but trying to find that new audience is very difficult, man. So it's like I kind of feel for Benny here, because it's like he don't want to be doing little venues for the rest of his life. He don't want boom bap niggas being the only niggas that fuck with him the rest of his life. Like
no neckbeard
bro,
niggas.
he got a family, bro. He got
real.
a family and he got dreams and aspirations. So I feel bad for somebody who you know what I mean? Because Benny hasn't fallen off lyrically. You know what I'm saying?
Nah,
if you don't like
if
you don't like the production style, I still don't feel like he's not making sure. Like, it's not like Benny just yo Dini, go pick some beats for me, nigga. Like, I still feel like Benny is using the same process that he's always used. You know what I'm saying? But he clearly wants a different audience. He wants more notoriety. He wants more bread, like the rest of us. So it's like, for a nigga to say, yo, I've been down since day one, you know what I'm saying? Like, why you doing this? It's like, that's kind of crazy, you know what I'm saying? Because us at the Rap Roundtable, and I imagine all content creators hope that the audience that you gain initially will follow you through the journey. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I thought what Benny replied to kind of end everything was kind of like, that was apropos, you know what I'm saying? Where it's like, all right, you're not willing to take this trip with me, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's a strange place for an artist to be in, you know what I mean? Because not everybody is Drake, bro, where everything you put out, all your fans is gonna say that's that new shit, you know what I'm saying? Not everybody is Jay-Z, where, you know, 444 is a classic, you know what I'm saying? Like, some niggas have to, you know what I'm saying?
I think that's got a response to you, Mason.
That's the point, you know what I'm saying?
Point.
Where it's like he's not in a position where niggas is just gonna jack whatever you doing no matter what, you know what I'm saying? So I feel for Benny, you know what I mean? And I'm rooting for him, because this is like, it's such a weird position to be in, to be looking for new people that you don't even know will like you in general, and the people that fuck with you initially saying, hey, you're abandoning us. You know what I mean? So
it's a tough spot, bro.
It's a tough spot.
It's a really
man.
tough spot. But at the end of the day, like, when you're a day one fan of something, though, bro, like, I hate to say this, but sometimes you almost feel like you actually really fan with that person, because you've been along for the journey. You know what I'm saying? Like a person you met him y'all friends for 10 years. If you knew him when he was a young dude and he ascended to his journey, you might feel like, yo, like I was there. You know what I'm saying? I've been around for this nigga.
That's a them problem.
You're right. But
this is where I'm gonna jump in at. I felt, and Mase made that point about, we're facing some of the same issues. Because it's like, when you have a staunch, quote, fandom, or in our case, I don't like to use the word fan, but subscriber base, people who pull up and they support everything you do, you know what I'm saying? You want to make sure that you feed them. But at the same time, when we started potting, we had everyone, if you start a business, everyone has grand views of what they want the business to be. Eventually they settle and they realize, this is my ceiling, and I'm gonna maximize that ceiling. But when you first start this shit out, you want to take it as far as you can take it. And with us, it's like, when we talk about Drake or we talk about different topics that stray away from, quote, Nas and Jay-Z, Kenny Mac might not like that. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, we didn't come out the gate to just be in one corner. We feel like our perspective of rap, we can speak for an entire nationwide audience. Right. Even when the South niggas get mad at us, they don't hear that we show Future mad love. You love Lil Wayne. You know what I'm saying? No. I love the entire Memphis rap scene. We love Texas. Shit like that. But at the end of the day, the objective is to expand the business and provide something that we feel like is missing. When I look at Benny, I think that's the same shit. He came in the game and he was on some trap shit. Young Benny was a trap rapper.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
We have to tell the truth. He found a niche with the boom bappery. Much like how we found a niche with the Nas fans. And niggas tried to push back on us and said we were using Nas for clicks and all that other shit. But at the end of the day, we found a fan base that liked us. And we decided to provide something that they felt was missing.
Right.
Because we liked the fact that they liked us and they got the show and we cooked for them and they took the journey with us. I think the issue that Benny's having is that whereas a Marcos, a Miss LB, a Jadorian is willing to go wherever we go, they gonna follow us now because they fuck with us. They actually fuck with us.
Yeah.
I feel like boom bap rap fans are a little pretentious. They're not gonna take the journey.
Careful.
No. Hear me out. Hear me out. What I'm saying is they love boom bap. They don't want to go nowhere else outside of the boom bap scope. And it makes me concerned because it's like, did you like Benny? Did you like West? Did you like Conway? Did you like the sound more so than the artist producing the sound? And I think Benny's having that fight because from his point of view, you like the sound. Like when he said, oh, you're a boom bap guy. That means you like the sound, but when he dropped Burden of Proof, he was like, I don't know about this. Nigga, Burden of Proof was everything you loved about Griselda on roids. Because it ain't like Hit Boy tried to take you somewhere else. Hit Boy did everything Griselda's known for, but turned it up to, not to say Kanye levels, but he put a little Kanye on that. A little Just on that.
Yeah.
Because I think Sinat said it, like, in some cases, he sounded like he was doing his best Just Blaze impersonation with some of them joints. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, Benny's learning a tough lesson. There's some niggas like what you produce, but they don't like you. You know what I'm saying? Like with the Nas conversations with us, some niggas like us talking about Nas, but they don't like us. You know what I'm saying?
Talk.
Real shit.
It's real.
Real shit.
Facts.
We not,
real.
and if it don't apply, let it fly. We not talking to them. We talking to the niggas who like the Nas talk, but they don't like us. Benny's putting out these kind of, when he did Plug Talk with 2 Chainz, niggas was mad about that record, bro. They didn't want that.
Record.
Right.
The song is
fire,
fire.
It's a dope record.
It is.
But they came here for boom bap at a high clip, and they look at Benny as a nigga who can produce that. I think Benny at this point needs to move away from having diatribes with fans. That should stop. Whoever's your handler, or if you don't have a handler, hire one. Back and forth to fans like that.
Yeah,
because I didn't like the boom bap. You're a boom bap guy, see? But Benny, you made a name boom bap, so you got to be careful.
Yeah.
Careful.
And I wanted to make that point too. And I had alluded to this when I was talking about what the fuck is a label? What do they do? You know what I mean? Like in today's, do-it-yourself, world that we live in, a lot of these artists, even artists on labels, they don't have a publicist. They don't have somebody that they can, call or text or email, be like, yo, like, how should I handle this? Or can you handle this for me? You know what I mean? Because I don't have time for this, or I'm probably gonna say the wrong thing. But like Benny's a person like we're a person. He goes on Twitter, he reads some shit. The first reaction, the gut reaction is, yo, fuck this nigga, man. Tell him about
That's
himself.
real.
Fuck him. But you've told me many times, stop doing that.
Benny needs a cent?
The
angel on
Benny
the
needs a
shoulder.
cent, gang.
Because Benny feel like I'm putting this work in and you should fuck with it. But in
Right.
reality, everybody's not gonna fuck with what you put out.
with it, man.
Right.
And
A lot of
I think
fans-
all of us have to get to that,
niggas-
and I'm not trying to compare us to Griselda, but it's just content creation is vast.
Now you made a
in
point when you said
2023.
there's people who gonna be here from day one who might not fuck with us if we go in a different direction. That's real
Facts.
shit.
They feel betrayed. That's how. That's
Right.
in their minds, they feel like we're betraying them. I felt like it's almost like you fell in love with a girl because she was distant and she's not that way anymore.
But
Once you-
Or like you fell in love with a shorty, she was wild thinking and she decided to become a fitness
And
again,
shorty
go.
and she lost mad weight.
Right.
all the
That's
beef
so-
is gone on her.
Did you
Again,
like her?
that's
You
so-
like the,
Right.
All the yams.
Did you love what she had or did you love her?
Right.
It's
Right.
so weird to me, the entitlement
The entitlement
that they feel
yes.
when they are a day one and
journey, man.
they're like, yo, I've been rocking with you. You know what I mean? I've been a fan since day one. Like you're supposed to support me the way I support you. And that's
yeah.
not how it works.
That's how they feel, man.
That's not how it works. And you're not owed anything at the end of the day.
And niggas get mad. Jay-Z has said it. Drake has said it. I believe even Nas has alluded to it. Like, listen, Buy the old album if you want the old me, gang. Like,
And-
The way I look at it,
speaking of-
niggas done follow LeBron in like 9 teams, bro. Y'all niggas could follow me. You know what I'm saying?
Yo.
The way they move, bro.
Yo, no funny shit. You're right. Because I remember at the peak of the anti-LeBron movement, niggas was not fucking with the Lakers. And all the LeBron fans, when LeBron came, he became LA Bron, they all Laker fans.
Salute to
now.
my nigga Tim.
So you're right.
you right.
Is Tim one of them?
Tim, everything is LeBron, bro. He hated Kobe.
Wow.
Yeah.
Shouts to my bro Willie D, who was a Cavs fan, and then he was a fucking Heat fan, and then he was a Cavs
Wherever I
fan
go,
again,
he
and now
goes.
he's trying to come be a Lakers fan. No, bro.
On that radio
Stand
flyer.
outside,
I
bro.
know you hated it, Job. All the new.
What the
all the
fuck?
new
I don't
Brown
interact
fans.
with them. You're not gang.
Shouts to you, Willie D.
You know what I'm saying?
Now, one last point on this
Godfather
topic,
to my
and we can
kids,
move on. But like, there was some Mase I said, I forget now, but like, it made me think about how, you know what I mean, that transition from Illmatic to It Was Written. Imagine if we had Twitter
Oh,
back in
man.
'95.
Bro, they didn't call that
96.
shit trash.
They would have fronted on Illmatic. I mean,
Flame
it was
Tim.
written so bad, bro.
Yo,
Oh,
I,
man,
Perception.
scary hours, man.
Perception,
If we had
reality,
Twitter
my nigga.
that's real.
back in '96,
Good point.
because
This is not Illmatic. But you know what?
God.
Real quick, because I meant to say it earlier. You can't always expect direct sequels to your favorite shit.
Yeah.
Like if you like The Plugs I Met 3, why would you, like in Benny's mind, why would I make another album that's the same?
Right.
Like why should Plugs I Met 4 pick up where Plugs I Met 3 left off? In a perfect world, selfishly as fans, we want that because we loved the last one so crazy. But artists are not trying to just do the same shit.
Niggas love a series, though.
They love a series, but like why should say that? Let's say hypothetically, the album is 14 tracks. Why should track one of the next joint just be track 15 of the last one?
No.
And classics are classics for a reason. Because
Cohesive.
they're few and far between. They're not easy to make, bro. Like if everybody could just make Tana Talk 3 every time out,
And Job,
the
you
fuck?
just
then
have-
nothing would be a classic.
right. And Job, you mentioned it's really them boom bap fans, man. Because we just spoke about Kanye. Kanye created 5 different albums. You know what I mean? Y'all remember the first time hearing
They
To
was
Pimp
mad
a
at graduation
Butterfly?
too. Let's be clear.
Different.
They
Y'all
was
remember
mad
that?
at graduation too. They didn't love graduation.
This is true. This is true.
So you're not wrong.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just, you know,
Graduation grew on people.
graduation.
I was on
people.
graduation from day one. I knew this shit was fire. Like to me, graduation is better than the first 2.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Graduation is my favorite Kanye album. I know. I
Graduation
get
is
Dark
crazy.
Twisted Fantasy is, you know,
I do love College
My
Dropout.
Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy is
Is-
something else. It's
that's
out of here.
yeah,
Out of here.
That's a
The nerve of you to
masterpiece.
make that with album 5, you son of a bitch. Like, how the fuck do you pull that off? You know what I'm saying? But real quick, you know, as we move along in the spot, make sure you don't tune out. We got Coach Bombay in the building tonight.
Yes, sir.
If you don't know who he is, he's one of the number 1 dot connectors in hip hop.
That's a
He
fact.
also manages Rome Streets. He's our guest for tonight. So make sure that you don't tune out. You might want to know how the fuck he got to this position.
Yes, sir.
Managing one of the hottest artists in the game, one of Griselda's number 1 draft picks in the game.
Word.
Talk about it. Lock in.
With quite an interesting story himself.
Shit. The more I talk to him, the more I realize he's a lot more vested in, and I, like he knows he's a dot connector. That's all I'll say. No spoilers. Swiss Beats says that he has a lot of music. In fact, enough music to put out a posthumous DMX album. So I asked the chat, I asked the rap roundtable, do we need another DMX album? Mesito.
There's not many things we need less than another DMX album. Maybe
Wow.
like a recession.
I didn't expect that.
Another pandemic.
Another round of COVID.
You know what I mean? Right. Like, you know what I mean? A drive-by shooting in your block. You know what I'm saying?
Yo.
The bus,
80s drug
the
war.
school bus being parked in front of you and you gotta wait for all the kids to get out. There's not a lot of things that you want less than, you know what I mean, a new DMX album, bro. Like, let's be honest, this last one wasn't it. The ones he dropped before Wasn't it? Like I was deep into my internet game the other day, and shouts to the Kali. They was making fun of the greatest hits album that DMX put out, where he re-recorded the lyrics to his classics.
Oh,
Rough Riders anthem was sounding crazy, bro.
Wait,
like,
that happened?
Yeah, that happened. I
didn't
maybe
know
I
about that.
erased it out of my mind. I'm gonna send that to the group chat.
Please.
That's what you try to get,
I don't
you try
even
to
know
get paid
about
for your
that.
music.
Oh, yeah, y'all
so you
gotta-
gotta
I just-
re-record
I
your
just
shit.
need
Y'all
to make
gotta
sure
hear
that
that
it's
Rough
real.
Riders anthem. Y'all gotta hear that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, listen, we love X. We love, you know what I mean? Rest in peace, Tune, one of the GOATs of the game. Y'all seen when we did the rapper fantasy draft. That was my second pick. Y'all was surprised he was still on the board. X is one of those niggas all time, forever. 98 X, listen, that might be the MVP of all MVPs. You know what I'm saying? But listen, man, if you got a whole new batch of DMX material to put on a new album, why didn't you add that shit to the last album? Because this last album wasn't it. You know what I mean? The last album was stitched verses and whack beats. So it's like, Swiss, don't be that guy. Don't do what they did to them posthumous Tupac tracks. Don't
And Biggie.
Biggie duets us, nigga.
Biggie duets.
With Nelly verses and Jazzy
With the
Faye
nasty
for the hook.
girls.
You know what I'm saying?
Shout out Jazzy Faye.
The intro had Obi Trice on it, nigga.
Obi
like, come
Trice.
on, Puff. You know what I mean? You done worse since then. But come on, Puff.
Shit.
So nah, man. Like, let the dog's legacy rest in peace. Swiss, you got mad art. You and Alicia Keys is going crazy. She's still getting Empire State of Mind money. If y'all want X Family to be good, then just give him some bread yourself, nigga. You know what I'm saying? But to denigrate and to desecrate his legacy like this by just dropping bullshit, as a Pac fan, like, my nigga, like, Pac's life?
Take it easy.
Pac's life? Bro, when he had Ashanti verses on there, bro, and T.I. 16s?
Yeah,
So, nah, I'ma just say,
I
listen,
remember that.
do not do this, Swiss. Please don't. You already faked like you had a DMX verse on a Wayne song when it was just a scratched hook. I don't even know if I believe him, actually. So no. No, because if
What is going on here?
they did this on the last Pop Smoke album when it was like, we got new Pop Smoke verses, and it was like, really, bro? So like, don't do this. For X, bro, do not do this to his legacy and drop some bullshit album, please. And please, if you do, don't use your beats.
Damn it, man.
That's it.
That was a slow roast.
That was, bro. That's hard to. That's a good one.
God damn.
Damn it.
Swizz would say, God damn.
God damn it.
Zone. You know what I mean?
Nah, you know what drop we need? We're gonna need this for nah, you don't have it, but you know what we need on that soundboard? Y'all watch The Office?
Yes.
Y'all know when Michael Scott saw Toby and was like, no,
With the nutty nose.
That's what we need right
I
now.
will be working on that.
We need that
Yo.
drop for situations like this.
Oh
That's
my
the
God.
only possible reaction to this, man. We don't. Not only do we not need this, but as Mase alluded, yo, kill the posthumous albums altogether, bro. Unless it's actual tracks, actual material that was recorded in the time and was never released, and you got the files or you got it on DAT or on cassette somewhere and you pull it out of the archives. Unless it's that, don't fucking Frankenstein some shit in 2023 today. Don't just stop. Please. We don't need this.
No.
You know what I mean? And part of me kind of understands where Swiss is coming from with this idea, because that was his band's, and he wants to make sure that his name is not forgotten and that he still stays in the collective consciousness of hip hop and culture. But this is not the way to do it, especially with the latest run of production that you've had, Swiss. This is absolutely not the way to go about this thing. Again, if you have some classic songs or even classic verses in their original state, absolutely put those out. You know what I mean? I would love to hear some shit from 98, 99, 2000. You know what I mean? But if you're Frankensteining some shit together today, keep that.
Frankenstein is nasty work. You need a balance. Tell me you got something positive to say.
Keep that.
In the words of Drake, man, don't do it. Please don't do it. I mean, are we in the 25th anniversary of the two greatest joints for him anyway? Like, aren't we? This is 98.
Yeah.
We're in 2023. You could do a nice little 25th anniversary of As Dark as Hell Is Hot. Little 25th anniversry of Flesh of My Flesh.
A&R Ding.
You know, and we can come back and revisit that in 5 years and make, you know what I'm saying? Make it a 30-year drink. But we don't. We don't.
Yo.
We don't.
Wow,
We don't, bro.
That's crazy.
Like, I love DMX.
The
Like, we're not gonna
Round
do that
Table.
in a sense, but like we've heard the last few projects, bro, and between like the way they put the music together, the production, the sonics, just we don't need you. Like in the words of Demi yesterday, I'm good on that. Bro, I'm good on that. We don't need that,
Shouts
bro.
to Demi, man.
Salute,
That's a damn.
salute the Swizz, but we just don't need that.
Hey,
Still waiting on that poster on Juvenile Hell.
listen to what I was saying.
Never
And
changed
this won't come
since.
out for days, but I know he still won't have posted about it.
I'm in lockstep with Sin. When it comes to the posthumous releases, I think at this point, I understand the business of it. What didn't Kiss say? Like a dead rapper gets better promotion.
Promotion. Yep.
I understand. Believe me. But I think it's time to do away with it. Because if the artist is not, one thing about rap albums, it's not like R&B so much. I know R&B artists do have a say, but a lot of times on the industry level, R&B acts, pop acts, there's a lot of people in that room that make the decisions to what records eventually get out there. I feel like rap is still a lot more personal for the artist as far as who's spitting and how the song structure, how the album structure gets put together, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
So for me, putting together like posthumous releases without the artist in the room because he's passed away does a disservice to the artist. And then we see what these albums sound like. Like Pac is the only outlier, in my opinion, when it comes to posthumous releases. And even then, if you ask a Pac fan, they'll tell you the joints that he put out before he passed and the joints he was working on right as he passed hit better than motherfuckers conjuring up some shit and then re-releasing it.
Absolutely.
You dig what I'm saying? Unless you have a situation where, let's say now, like Walt. Well, I'm not saying that you're gonna die, Walt. You know what I mean? I can see the future, but not that much. You know what I'm saying? If Walt had an album, it was a 10-track album, and just so happens that he recorded 9, and he was in the middle of track 10, and if we could scrap track 10 and just put out the 9 joints, I'm okay with that. Because it was already done.
Right.
Yeah.
But if you fucking finding stems all over the place and then you putting some shit together and calling it an album, keep that shit. It's a money grab.
Yeah.
All right, so I agree with what you're saying, but in a sense, all right, for instance, our in-house producer, Sincere, I've heard Sincere take snippets of artists and add them to his production, and the shit sounds fucking immaculate. I'm talking Nas, Prodigy, Biggie, you know what I'm saying? Just placed on his beats, and the shit sounds immaculate. So it can be done,
It
bro.
can be done, but at the same time,
But the
rap-
ethics of putting it
yeah,
out is a whole different story.
that's a different
That's
thing.
another thing, too.
And then rappers in particular are very particular about what their album's supposed to sound like, what the vision that they have and how they put their shit together. Unless you have a nigga who's a top tier A&R in your room, a lot of times rappers have a lot of say in what they shit sound like. So if you're telling me now I'm just pulling fucking raw vocals and putting them on beats, how we know he would have picked that shit?
Yeah.
True.
You're right,
Yeah,
because
there's knowing what
the
the
shit
vision
that
would
you
have-
mentioned, that's basically Machiavellian life after death, right? The niggas is about to die right before the album
Right,
came
it's
out.
completed, yeah.
Look at those, but then look at Born Again and Are You Still Down? You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
I'm good on
Clear.
And the other 8 joints after, you know what I'm saying, that they tried to
Right.
piece together.
right.
that. Yeah. I mean, they did, what, 2 for Big?
They
And
did.
look, just to be clear, this also goes out this is the blanket statement for everybody.
right.
You know what I mean?
We're using the greatest artists
Like,
of all time as
right.
examples.
But Doom, please don't. My favorite producer of all time today, Jay Dilla. I'm good. I'm good on them. You know what I mean? I really am, because it's like we got the best of them when they were here.
Right.
To continue to squeeze out.
Hey, yo.
Pause.
Hey, yo.
you.
Where's it at, bro?
Hey, you.
Yo, Walt,
God damn it.
Walt, I'm saying right now, if he do that shit again, mute his fucking microphone.
Nah, you're right. That was flagrant. That was flagrant.
Out of line.
Carry on, sir.
Yeah, but to continue to like
Squeeze
you
it
know,
out is crazy. But
Yo, for real.
see,
Yo.
there's the levity, people.
Out of line.
But yeah, man, just don't do it, because we got the best of them when they were here, and to like whatever scraps they still had in their hard drives or in their archives or whatever, they didn't put them out, and they probably didn't put them out for a reason.
and that's what I
And
want.
you're making the decision for them, and that's fucked up.
And it's like if in real time motherfuckers recorded that shit and then the cutting room floor, whatever, or you just thought it wasn't good enough, why are you now pacing it together to try to make some shit, bro? We don't. Matter of fact, again, and I'm not trying to front. If DMX's estate needs the money, and that's a different argument.
Put up your cash app. Then.
Right. But let's leave X in a positive light. Let's not put out some shit that might not hit. Who's to say that it will hit? You know what I'm saying? But based on what we know about posthumous releases and they scrounging up verses, them shits don't hit, bro.
They never do.
Who got a classic posthumous release?
Ray Charles.
5 years after the fact type shit.
Literally, Ray Charles got a Grammy for his. That's the only
He was
person I
probably
can
working on
think
that shit for 15 years, nigga. We don't know that. I'm dragging it. But you know what I mean? Moving on. This is not going to be a crazy topic, but it got me to thinking, like, Joe Budden, he kind of tippy-toed around the Diddy situation. And I know motherfuckers, they watch Joe Budden, they watch Math, and then a percentage of those people watch the Rap Roundtable. And I feel like the people who watch us, they hold us to a certain esteem as far as you gotta say something. Because we're the quote underground podcast, right? My question to the Rap Roundtable is, what exactly do people want from their rap media personalities? Because I feel like the relationship is not transactional as much as it's kind of one-sided as far as the listeners' expectations as opposed to what we deliver. So, Sin, I ask you first, like, what do you think listeners are looking for when it comes to their rap media personalities?
I think first and foremost, no matter what the platform is, denounce the mainstream. Just flat out. If it's the mainstream, fuck talking about the mainstream. We don't care about the mainstream.
Shit.
You know what I mean? The mainstream is already the mainstream. Focus on the underground. You know what I mean? So only talk about the underground. They probably also want you to give takes that they agree with minimum 98% of the time. They'll give you like a little 2%. But 98% of the time, they like if you say something that's in that 2% where they don't agree with you, all of a sudden you don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Right.
It's crazy. You know what I mean? They want their own personal yes platform. You know what I mean?
You want confirmation bias?
Yeah, basically, yeah. That's how I see it.
Well, Sin kind of gave it from the negative aspect, I guess. I mean, I'll give it from the positive aspect. I feel like when niggas like us tune into a show or something like that, first of all, man, we want to be entertained. Like, if nothing else, I want to walk away like, yo, like this was worth watching. If nothing else, I want it to be informative. Even if it's just your opinion, and your opinion is not the facts. But I'm informed of your opinion. As long as your opinion, I just feel like has some accuracy to it. I just want you to be honest.
Right.
There we go. Honesty. I feel like a lot of people want that too. Like the reason Joe Budden is in that light because he can't be honest about this. Granted, I don't want my car to blow up either. You know what I'm saying? But we're not in the same light as Joe, so we can speak a little more freely. You get what I'm saying? Granted, I'm all through the city, so Diddy, don't come looking for me. Don't come looking. But yeah, I think they want relatability. I think you want to listen to a person and you want to say, oh shit, I thought that same thing. Oh, maybe I thought differently, but you just maybe sparked that little thought in my mind, and maybe I can side with you now. It's just people they want to build. I feel like when you listen to something nowadays, even if it's music, you want to build. You know what I'm saying?
What do you think, Mase?
I'm not gonna go as far as fuck the mainstream like Sin, because I'm trying to be mainstream on the low. But listen,
Get there.
What do people want for their media personalities? They want unfair or fair. What they want is what you blew up on. So Joe Budden blew up on keeping it real no matter what. You know what I mean? You a Joe Budden fan. You done heard the Jonathan Majors episodes. You done heard the Michael B. Jordan shit.
Yeah.
You go back to Everyday Struggle. You done heard the L.A. Reid shit.
Same
so
with
niggas
music.
want from Joe what they came to Joe for. You know what I mean? Niggas want academics wilding out on Henny. You know what I'm saying? Niggas want Charlemagne sniffing seats.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they want what you from what you blew up for. You know what I mean? They want, to bring it to the rap game. They want Jay-Z talking about drugs. They want Eminem on some Slim Shady shit. You know what I mean? Like niggas want from what you originally got them for. Now, that could be unfair because my perspective might have changed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I might just be a different type of nigga now than I was at that point. You know what I mean? But when people come to their media personalities and they get upset about them, I think it's because they kind of giving it up different. You know what I mean? And I'm not trying to shit on anybody, but a person who can read between the lines, a person who knows what's going on, knows that Joe Budden in 2023 can't be, if you know what I mean,
crazy.
I'll name this podcast later Joe Budden.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just impossible. We can't even be, you know what I mean, Titans and Gods rap roundtable if you want to be real about it.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just I get the fans because they like, Joe, I want you to keep it real how you used to keep it real. But if you know Joe, you gotta understand he can't. You know what I
Offend the
mean?
political
You
connects.
you remember the Notorious episode where he talked about running into L.A. Reid and he had to explain himself for all that shit he was talking. You know what I mean? So it's like
Niggas that's outside, yeah.
right. It's like me personally. If Kobe is scoring 35 on threes and dunks, or if he's just posting up all game, I'ma be a fan. But not everybody is like that. You know what I'm
But
saying?
you know what? Here's the thing. And Dini, I understand the whole political connection, but it's a weird relationship. Like one thing Joe Budden says that I agree with is if you're a personality or you got a platform, you can't be friends with rappers. You can't.
That's a fact.
You could be cordial, you could build, you could have a working relationship. But you can't be friends because the minute Walt decides to drop a one mic non-classic and we got to come on this podcast and say this album no hit, there's a chance that Walt is not going to be our friend anymore. You know what I mean? Because you said this shit is trash. Even if it is trash, we can't say it's trash. You know what I'm saying? But the fans confuse me because they say now, like, we have subscribers who watch every show. And they'll put in the comments, yo, we want you niggas to go far. We want you to do this. We want you to do that. Not to say that I'm speaking to anybody in particular. But the minute we go far, you can't, realistically, you can't be the same show you was. You can't be, what Hope says you was who you was before you got here. In the media space, you can't be that. Because to say that, as far as we go, and the more people we meet, like, all right, the other day, academic shit, that shit, right? We've had interactions with Elliot Wilson, right? Let's say now they decided they want to rock with us or Punch out
So
west.
we had
Interactions
Low on
with
the
him.
show.
Salute.
Low Key was on the show. As you get into those relationships and your Q rating increases and your scope increases, how can you be the same show? And that's one thing I don't think people understand. Once you get to a certain echelon, that means that you're in rooms with certain people. And when you're in those rooms, there's a certain expectation if they're cutting the check or they know the nigga that's cutting the check. Now, the chat is going to say, you're selling out. Maybe. But politically speaking, if they're cutting the check, how can I continue to talk my shit the same way? That's the question I'm asking the chat. How do you expect Joe Budden to still be the same nigga he was when Rory and Maul was on the show with the dirty tank tops? The nigga got a whole new space. Even if he says he's independent, bro, we're not fucking stupid.
Come on.
Somebody's cutting a check.
Somebody's putting the bill,
Yeah.
man.
If all of a sudden he talked a whole bunch of shit about Diddy and then he took the shit out of the pod, 1 + 1 still equals 2 where I'm from, Diddy might have a hand in the Joe Budden podcast. If he's independent, Joe can say whatever he wants to say. But the fact that he had to edit shit out tells me that there's a hand somewhere
In the pot.
There's an invisible hand somewhere that's involved in the business of that podcast. And Diddy might have a hand in that, considering Joe's prior relationship with Revo. Shit, I can tell you like this. If I'm cool with an artist and he has me around his creative process, I'm going to feel terrible saying this album isn't what it should have been. And that's on a human level. Not throw money involved in that shit.
Yeah.
So I asked the chat, What exactly are you looking for from the podcasters or media personalities in this space? You know what I'm saying? Because heaven forbid, let's say not on a hypothetical, King's Disease 4 happens. We got 75% of our subscribers are Nas fans. And we don't like that album. When we come on here and we say this album is ass.
Nostradamus Part 2.
Bro, the internet is gonna melt. They're gonna try to kill us because we said the album is whack. Because we're not supposed to say that. So it makes you different from them industry niggas. Everybody has a preference. Right? That's all I'm saying. Mo, do you want us to keep it real? Do you want us to keep it real? Or do you want us to say what you want to hear?
Confirmation
bias. I don't know. But that's the question that I'm gonna leave this topic open-ended. I want to hear what y'all gotta say. And the best comment, we'll feature it on the next mailbag on episode 86.
Good shit.
You know what I'm saying? Masito, it's time for your segment. You know what I mean?
What's the vibes, man? What's the vibes? Now, y'all know me. I get into a little industry shit. I might get a little to a young rap shit.
Yeah.
But guys, I'm feeling chatty today. I'm feeling chatty today, so I'm gonna need y'all, you know what I mean? You can't chat by yourself. They put you in Bellevue. You know what I mean? But it's been a couple things going on this week.
Talk about it.
First thing I want to speak about is this Rod Wave situation, man.
Oh, man.
Rod Wave is being sued by Rap Roundtable favorite Boosie. Lil Boosie, if you're old enough. And he's being sued because of lyrics. He's saying Rod Wave used his bars on his song. He wasn't properly compensated. You know what I mean? I don't know any Boosie bars to tell you if he used them, but I believe the homie. You know what I'm saying? I believe him. Getting $500K a year from Vlad. Vlad, can I get a little change, nigga? I'll talk about whatever, nigga. But
Rod Wave is who you think the Jigger Man is.
Yeah. Shit.
Rod Wave 2023 Jigger Man? Wasn't on my bingo card.
We not
Local
doing
celebrity
that. Because whole bars is in everybody else's bars.
Everybody.
Hey, man, I don't listen to enough young niggas to know if Rod Wave's bars are in their bars. I don't know, bro.
A lot of older bars in his bars.
You feel me? Like, I don't know, gang. But Boosie came out. He sued Rod Wave about stolen bars. They had their little back and forth. Rod Wave said, hey, Boosie, I'll go pay you right now, my nigga. Like, I got it. You know what I mean? I thought it was love because I grew up on you. But due to that, there was like, the fans were on it this week. They came out and they started posting all the bars that Rod Wave had stole from niggas. There was whole verses from Jay. There was Tupac bars.
Shit.
A lot of Tupac bars. There was Drake bars. There were Ed Sheeran bars, bro.
What?
This boy Rod Wave done stole from the whole industry.
And not like a bar like at the time. I'm talking about like
the
3-4
whole-
bars.
like
at
the
a
whole
time,
verse,
shit
like
whole 4 bar stanzas,
like,
nigga.
like the entire
quick,
thing.
Real quick, if I could interrupt you.
What's happening?
You might want to recruit some of these people that found out these
For
bars.
your business.
Make a team.
Listen,
Create a team of
man.
investigative
Yo,
reporters.
man.
Masito
The
private
investigation
eye.
team.
Sleuths.
Y'all don't know if I wasn't the one who exposed that.
That's a
but listen, Rod Wave, he came out and what you know what he did? He came out and he posted a Drake verse that he stole from somebody else. Like, that's not. Listen, man, as a Drake fan, as the OVO, capo, you know what I mean? Like, that's not helping your case, bro. Drake did it too.
You don't
It's
gotta
not-
cut a
no,
check
no,
for every
no,
time
no.
he does that though?
Well, it depends
This is
on.
that's what I'm saying. This is a slippery slope.
Yeah,
bro.
Right, because how many Rod Wave fans
Especially with
know
so many
1996 All Eyes on Me bars?
There you go.
How many Rod Wave fans listen to Song Cry? Let's be honest. You know what I'm saying?
But that
So-
means a lot of niggas can't get sued for
Right.
lyrics.
Yeah.
now, bro.
Hey, listen. So I don't know. Maybe Rod Wave, he might be getting sued soon because that shit was looking kind of crazy, gang. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, usually a line or two, but not 4,
Bro was
5,
stealing
6
listen,
bars, bro.
It was
That's
like
crazy.
a 10-minute
Straight.
compilation of this nigga stealing bars. Y'all remember the infamous, Cameron puts out Jay-Z stealing lyrics? It's twice. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, listen, Rod Wave is way worse.
And Jay
the
shit was
nigga
like
be
a
singing
bar.
his heart out like he wrote it himself. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like Whitney Houston sung this shit, nigga. Listen,
Yeah,
man.
but this is a story, that we've seen before, because like it's like like with producers and beat making, you sample something, and if you don't clear it, it's all good until you blow up and somebody finds out. A person tells a person that tells a person that tells the person you sample, and all of a sudden you you find yourself in court.
Right.
I'm a Tupac guy. Jobs a Jay-Z guy. Did you know Rod Wave stole lyrics? I didn't.
Well,
you know what I mean? I'm gonna be honest with you.
You think I'm listening to Rod Wave? Like,
Listen,
what are we
man.
talking about?
The
here?
younger
You know what I mean?
generation.
And from now on, you know what I mean? Just like we renamed Meek Mill Meek Mid. From now on, he's Rob Wave, okay?
Rob Wave.
That's what we call him from now
like
on.
it.
Until he can write his own bars. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Deanie, I remember I was here for the
nasty work.
OG Rap Roundtable intro. Maybe you could give him some bars, bro. But for our next topic, we're gonna speak a little. I spoke about Meek Mid a little bit. We're gonna speak on him, bro.
Talk about it.
Listen, he got a lot of shit going on this week. He apparently is having issues with Trippie Redd.
What?
Why?
And he has banned Trippie Redd from Philly. Now, I don't know if niggas are out here. I seen, the murder statistics. I don't know if niggas are taking Philly trips, you know what I mean, for the hell of it. But
For leisure.
if
Is
you
Trippie Redd
were,
gonna show up 3 a.m. in Philly like 6ix9ine and say
Take
I'm
a
out
quick-
here?
take a quick
You know
pic
what I
and
mean?
drop
I don't
back in
know.
the ride.
I'm not trying to watch Embiid flop all game. I'm not going to Philly, bro. But Meek Mill has banned Trippie Redd from Philly for siding with the ops, guys. Now, if you remember, not a little while ago, Meek Mill had, there's like a whole Philly wave right now. I'm not trying to shit on them. The Philly drill is actually the top drill right now. If you look at the numbers behind the video views and behind the
Wait. Philly does drill music?
Philly does drill music. They got the rhythm ops. They should have been doing it, y'all. They a little bit late, bro.
Oh, what the
Right.
fuck?
What the
Why
fuck?
you find work for me, bro? I got a sense of that. You know what I mean?
Listen, it ain't right if Mase don't get censored, bro. Like, Sin's gonna pause, I'm a censor, bro. But listen, he done banned Trippie Redd from Philly, man. Like, he not with the shit. Trippie Redd was out here speaking bad on his name, siding with the ops. Shouts to Pound Side Pop. Pause.
Pound side?
Pound
Hey,
Side Pop.
yo,
Yes,
what the
yes.
What's
fuck?
that just
Listen.
cause?
Where's the drop at? What?
Listen, they got 50 clips in Philly, so I'm gonna be nice about that.
No,
name,
no.
you know what I mean?
Don't bury the lead. Pound side pop.
Pound Side Pop.
Where I'm from, if you a pop, you a skio. You a treesh.
What about a
You know?
pound side?
Oh my
Oh,
god.
I'm gonna have to be
What's
careful when I
going
go to
on
Max's
here,
from now
bro?
on. When I stop in Philly for a cheese, they gotta
Pound
watch
It's a
side.
your back.
bunch of shit going on in Philly, man. You got Leaf Ward. You got a bunch of niggas going on out there. But Trippie Redd made the wrong choice and sided with the ops, and Meek Mill has officially banned him from
Is
Philly,
Meek
man.
Mill a prison reform activist or is he a street nigga? I'm so confused now. Like, what's going on?
I'm gonna ask my son because I'm confused.
Oh,
as well.
okay. All right.
You know what I mean? I don't even fucking know. And to end, a little bit of chatty patty talk. You know what I mean? What we gonna do is we gonna speak about this a little bit on Monday. I may be there, I might not. You know what I mean? But it's getting out of control, man. And at this point, I think we need like a sex assault power ranking. It's kind of crazy out here, bro.
shit.
Puffy is out here getting more cases.
3 times.
He done caught a case with Aaron Hall at this point. And if you don't watch the infamous DJ Vlad Aaron Hall interview, these allegations are not out of out of line.
Afraid.
But listen, we got Jimmy Iovine, we got Puffy, we got all types of
for
folks.
Cuba
You know what I
Gooding
mean? So
Jr.,
maybe next week I'll
Hoff Pierre.
because they still coming out. Hoff Pierre, Bad Boy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They don't stop.
Jamie Foxx.
You know what I mean? Like Jamie Foxx.
It's a lot of niggas. Oh, Mayor Adams just got quoted.
I was just keeping it
Bro.
music, but yeah, you know what I mean? Like it's getting crazy out
Nasty
here.
work.
It's getting crazy out here. So I'm gonna have to get all this information together, and like ESPN, I'm gonna have to come up with a power ranking. We know Puff is
Yeah,
leading right
man.
now. You know what I mean? Shout to 50 Cent. He's keeping us abreast on all of these situations.
He was keeping himself
But-
abreast, apparently. You know what I mean?
Listen,
He's entertained
that's
by
a
all
whole
this
nother issue. But you know what I mean? Listen, Puff, you know what I mean? Listen, I'm not
Nasty
trying
work.
to party with you. I think a lot of other people weren't, but we'll get back to you about that. You know what I
wanna
mean?
party
I
with
was
you,
feeling chatty
Fab.
today, guys. That's how I was feeling, man.
All right, we gotta move on. I'd like to keep this podcast.
They so on
You know what I
fire
mean?
tonight, man.
I'm chatty, man.
I'd like to be safe. You know what I mean? Next segment.
I let the
Think
other folks do
It's a
that.
good thing I don't own a car.
Shit, right? Your car's blown up, nigga.
Bow.
It's the mailbag. So I got a little story to tell.
What's up? What's the vibe?
There's a gentleman who comments on our shit on YouTube, right? And it's always on some negative shit.
Wow.
And
Be more specific, please.
I'm getting there. Believe me.
Okay.
And
Copy.
you know, it's like I read the first comment and I was like, yo, what's up with this nigga? But because I've turned a new leaf, I don't, you know, I'm not fighting back. Y'all can get all y'all shots off now. Like, I'm not fighting back. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, y'all, as soon as I say something back to you niggas, y'all become victims immediately.
This is true.
It's either I didn't think you would respond to me. Oh, why would you say that? Why are you so emotional? You know what I mean? So it's like y'all trying to gaslight me. I'm not going for that. You know what I mean? But he always has some negative shit to say. And I want to say his name is Keston Phillip. Hey, Bucko.
Not Bucko.
Don't put your fucking government name on YouTube, huh?
Damn.
You know what I mean? Because I can find you, and I found you.
Oh shit.
But I'll let you. I'll let you be great.
New Mase?
Yeah. when you're stupid enough to put your real name on YouTube, I'm gonna fucking find you.
It didn't take much.
You know what I mean?
That was a bad move.
We just didn't need Mase this time.
Keston Phillip. His first comment was, Jarv a Nas hater. I don't care what you guys say. Newsflash, Keston, another newsflash if you didn't know. If I tap your name on YouTube, it gives me the entire history of all of your comments on our platform.
It does that.
So Keston, his first comment was, well, we had, shout out to Ease. We had Ease on the show.
Yo, Ease.
Keston Phillips says, even Ease knows these guys at Rap Roundtable are corny. These 4 guys are fake.
What?
6 months ago.
Again?
6 months ago, Keston Phillips says, over here, most of these guys are Jay-Z groupies. According to Hip Hop Keeps It Real over there. Set of Fugazis over here. So
That's
Keston, I just need to know, why the fuck do you keep watching us if you hate us bad?
Hate watch.
And then you leave all these negative ass comments thinking that we're not gonna know it's you? Like bro, your history's right here.
It's right there, Keston.
He commented again on the lunch hour where we did, oh, nobody wanted to dress like Jay-Z. Keston, just stop watching. Just stop watching the pod, nigga.
We'll be okay. I promise.
We'll be fine. But
Is your middle name Brick, Keston?
no. Keston is a completely different guy.
I got you.
Like, who you're thinking of is Hit Boy's code name. But I digress. You know what I'm saying? We done figured him out too. You know what I mean? That nigga's got like 80 burner accounts. I keep coming back. Imagine, no funny shit. If you don't know, there's niggas with mad burner accounts, and depending on what mood he's in, he either hates us or he likes us. It's the craziest thing.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying?
So, wow.
That's a fact.
But Keston from Trinidad, sir, if you don't like what
You're
we
just
have,
gonna completely dox him, huh?
fuck him. You know what I'm saying? If you don't like what we have to say, you don't have to watch the podcast. Negative comment after negative comment after negative comment. So you know what? When I was a kid, right? And the boy kept bothering the girl. He must like the fucking girl, right? But listen, Keston, we like women. We like girls. If you watch this, just keep your thoughts to yourself. Like, it's weird now, all right? That's all I wanted to say. Your comment history is documented. We know everything you said, so you can't even pretend to say you didn't say that shit, because it's all there, nigga. Don't delete it, because I got screenshots too. Anyway.
God bless, Keston.
D. Williams, 1240 says, Jay-Z told Westside that Griselda shouldn't split. They will be more powerful as a unit. Boy, was he right, because they haven't been the same since they branched out. Sincere, what do you have to say to that?
I don't know. I'm kind of 50-50 on that. Like, I want at a certain point, because it's been a number of years now. At a certain point, just like with Wu-Tang, like everybody had to, go off and find their own lane and their own path. I want that for Griselda as well. You know what I mean? Like, do I love the material that they put out as a collective? Yes. Do I think that I'm just gonna get that for the rest of my life in perpetuity? Absolutely not. They're gonna go off, they're gonna grow as artists, they're all gonna have their own directions that they want to go in, and that's what we're seeing, and that's the life of an artist. It is what it is.
Next comment from Jed4827. He was responding to our segment about D1 from episode 84. He says the problem is not Rick Ross, Jim Jones, etc. It's the gatekeepers that promote the narrative that street hip hop is the only acceptable form. Everything else gets labeled as nerd, backpack, etc. Deanie, what do you have to say to that?
I mean,
Why didn't you go to me for this?
Because you already had the last one.
there's some truth in that.
What do you mean?
There's some truth in that.
CD said, Sin said 40.
But at the end of the day, you can pick the kind of music you listen to. There's all kinds of music out there. You know, like we're not like the same way you told dude like you don't have to listen. Like same way you don't have to listen. There's so many different types of music out there. So many avenues. You don't have to tune into that. You can tune into whatever you want. You can't keep constantly tuning into the same thing that you say you don't want to listen to and have to constantly critique it, bro. You want to be here if you want to be here. So listen to something else. You know, listen to D1. Fuck.
Go ahead, Sin.
There's just there's so many different archetypes. You know what I mean? You can't just have like just one persona, and that's the only thing that.
That's why we have 80 burner accounts now, nigga.
You know,
and counting.
Shit, right? Mase, this one is for you.
Surprise.
The Black Folk Press says, I still don't understand why For All the Dogs didn't get the love from the folks. Ain't y'all fucking and cheating and playing with hearts? Whole album is still fire. The 6 songs added just took it to another level.
The whole album is not fire, bro. Like, Drake wouldn't have dropped some shit like this. Like, was Drake dropping 3 weeks after Nothing Was the Same, after it was Reading This Is Too Late?
Nope,
like,
nah.
Listen, man, we can stop pretending now. Scary Hours 3 came out, bro. We can stop.
The
Drake team, OVO team, we can stop
The
pretending
Scary
now.
Albums 3 saved For All the Dogs?
You know what I mean? It saved us from having to defend this shit all through the rest of 2023.
Shit.
Scary
6 songs is
For
heat.
All the Dogs. Do I have joints? Sure. Drake is a great artist. He can't make 20 joints and they all be whack, but bro, let's be real here, man. You went back to that. You went back to that For All the Dogs, bro. Like I've been bumping Scary Hours 3 nonstop, gang.
Spins on spins.
There's like
Stop
5
it,
or 6
bro.
songs.
Stop
I
it.
bump
We
off
can
Scary
stop
Hours.
pretending now. It's safe.
Last but not least, this is for Sincere. That's why I didn't give you the last one, because I was saving this one for you. His name is Rosuzi Agnes 124. Kendrick fans have allowed him to be inactive. Not gonna lie. I love him, but I can't wait 5 years for albums while other rappers are active. It don't make sense. Sincere.
Kendrick fans understand that inspiration will strike you when it strikes you. We understand that, like, yes, it's
Sincere,
business.
the bail bondsman.
It's a business. It's a content game. It's, you know what I mean, like the news cycle, the media cycle, the algorithm cycle. You need to constantly have shit out there. But we understand we come from a time when that was not the case. And when you have like an older spirit like that, you understand, like, look, yeah, I'm not gonna have nobody dictate when I make my shit. I'm gonna make my shit when I feel like making my shit and when I'm inspired to, and that's what it is.
Dini, you have anything to add to that?
Even if it's 10 years after the fact, I guess.
Word. Maybe you'll drop
Whenever it is.
a trombone album, since the
Yeah,
other nigga dropped a flute. You know what I mean?
You'll see him with the fake Jordans and the trumpet or some shit.
Facts.
Shouts to Drake, man.
This nigga's
'cause
a hillbilly.
Come on.
Nah,
bro.
that would
we
be-
ain't
that
gotta
would
keep
be-
pretending. You know
that
what I
would
mean?
be
Sin is
hilarious,
still
though.
pretending,
That
bro.
shit is-
Sincere's a true fan.
He's still pretending.
He loves the
Pretending
culture.
what?
Kendrick's, please drop something else so he can admit the truth.
I
Like,
gotta,
man.
I gotta pretend
Something
nothing.
fire, so he can be like,
Kendrick's
all right,
so out of the
this
loop
is better than
that
two before.
Drake and Cole are saying they number 1 and 2, and fuck that other guy out west with his weird cousin. You know what I mean? That's what they saying.
And
Kiss in every video, man. What
He's
the-
on
I don't
ukulele
pretend
time, bro.
This nigga's
a
popping up
single
in Brooklyn
thing.
at shows.
Kendrick has not missed.
He's missed a couple of
Mr.
times.
Mid was a miss, bro.
Mr. Mid was
But
a
nevertheless,
miss.
we are
That's
uptown.
a miss.
We got Coach Bombay in the building.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? We're trying to reason with Sincere to tell him that, you know, it ain't always what you think it is. But when we said that, he got really mad and he asked us too. Get off my lawn. Get off Sincere's lawn.
We sorry, sis.
Listen, the entity that has to get off my lawn for this episode.
Sexy red, sexy red, sexy red.
I almost made it sexy red, but I kicked her off my lawn
Next week, y'all.
A couple times ago,
already, like a couple times.
Yeah.
It was one official one, and then there was another one like in mid episode or something. You know what I mean? But there's something that I feel really strongly about today. Because I made a trip out. Oh, now y'all know, you know, when this was being recorded, but oh well. I made a trip out this morning to Rock and Soul. Shouts to Rock and Soul, classic record store. I knew the
You were
Nas.
being a fake Nas fan again?
What?
I was
There goes
being a
your cape.
completely
You were
fake
playing
Nas
a
fan.
role for me to debate you on podcast?
Yes.
Wow.
I
For
got
almost
up
30
early in the
years.
morning. I
Wow.
rolled out
Disgusting.
on the day after Thanksgiving and said, you know what? I got to keep up with this persona, with this fakery.
Did you
I
put
gotta
the eye
go-
black on like
You could have
Batman?
been a criminal mastermind,
keep-
bro.
I wore
day
all
after
of my Nas
Thanksgiving,
t-shirts
I'm a
all
Nas
together.
fan.
I layered all of my Nas t-shirts.
Believe me.
Jungle, come get this guy. man. He's
Believe
faking.
me.
He's faking.
And I
Where's
went
Horse
to
when you need
Rock
him?
and Soul to cop the I Am vinyl release for Record Store Day because what I was told through the
Oh,
internet,
shit.
through whoever reported it,
Be careful.
whoever's been reporting it for months. What I was told was that this was supposed to be the original double album, as it was intended to be, the entire track list. I have it right here. I went and copped it. I picked it up.
Big dog.
I turned it around. It's 13 songs on this shit. 13.
Less than
That's
the original.
Less than the original.
That's not a double album.
It don't even have Nas's Like on there, which was the lead fucking single.
Ain't no Nas is like on it?
What the fuck are y'all talking about? So Sony Columbia, because those are the people responsible for this. This was not a Nas move. This was not mass appeal.
The fuck are you talking about?
Let's be clear about this. Sony Columbia, y'all got some fucking explaining to do. Why the fuck was I hearing that it was going to be the original double album and I got 13 songs on here? And again, let me just double check. No Nas is Like. Not
That's
even the lead
crazy.
single.
Undying Love is on that?
How is Undying Love is not on here?
Whoa.
What?
And I was holding it in my hand.
That's crazy.
And
Bro.
And I was looking at it. I was
quick
like, yo,
action.
do I really want to cop this? Because I feel like I'm being bamboozled here.
Sink caught that quick. Pause.
But it had
Yo, that was egregious, bro. I ain't gonna lie, that was crazy.
it has. Can I continue?
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
proceed, bro.
It does have Daydreaming, Stay Scheming. Sometimes I Wonder. Hardest Thing to Do is Stay Alive. These were three originally unreleased Nas songs. And I was like, you know what? I want this in my collection. I want this collectible item. I do want these three official releases of these
Keep it up
originally
appearances.
unreleased songs to keep up appearances. Let's be clear. It's all an act. But damn, man, I was expecting
niggas
the
ain't
whole.
invited us to their space yet.
I was
Pause.
expecting.
You know what I mean?
I was expecting the whole thing.
Don't duck the fade after you talk shit about niggas.
All right, y'all missed
Especially
that
if you
one.
DMing niggas about the fade.
Facts.
bro. That's
Set
crazy.
up, set up the
That's
space,
crazy,
nigga.
bro.
Don't DM me no more. Set up the space.
So I'd already made the trip out. I was like, let me cop it. I'm happy I copped it.
I
but
want the nigga that said we not gonna say shit either.
Yeah.
but part of me feels a little cheated by Sony Columbia because they didn't keep up on their promise. man.
Right.
So Sony Columbia, y'all could get off my lawn.
Get off Sin's fucking
man.
lawn. Whoever's running
That
Sony
was-
these days.
If you put out some shit as the original piece that got bootlegged that we never heard, and then you put out this,
Get off my lawn.
if you get niggas gas on Black Friday to go cop up some shit,
Get off my lawn.
you basically misled your audience.
Get off my lawn.
If you talk shit on Twitter Space and then duck the fade,
Get off my lawn.
the rap round table is here and we got time.
Get off my lawn.
We got Coach Bombay in the building tonight. We're gonna have another illustrious guest to the rap round table, another fire interview. Make sure you don't tune out. Make sure you lock in. If you love rap the way you say you love rap, lock in with this interview, because again, I'm holding y'all accountable. I talk so much shit about protecting the culture, but the niggas who are actually doing the most to protect the culture, y'all run away from them. So make sure y'all lock in. Coach Bombay is coming up next, but in the meantime, Dean the Balance, take us home.
Yo, you already know what it is, man. Stay tuned. We got Coach Bombay pulling up inside on the music shit. Yo, you know what it is again. Masito, I will find you.
I'm trying.
You know what I'm saying? Voice of the fucking industry. Sincere, you hear the production. The truest Nas fan you'll ever meet. Argue with your mom's moms.
Real nigga.
Shout out to
Fucking-
Truist.
You dig? You hear what's going on. Sincere for the production. Highlight him for the beats. If you're an MC, you're an artist, and you really want to step your shit up to the next level, highlight him for the beats, man.
Super
Pause.
producer.
Coach, we gotta talk.
Beats is hard.
Last but not least, man, the RZA of this shit. You know what I'm saying? Ja off the point guard.
Podcast
Alley-oops.
GOAT.
Put together the
Alley-oops
5-year
always
plan.
immaculate.
You know what I mean?
Always beautiful transition. You know what I'm
Need that.
saying? With our powers combined, man, it's the Rap Roundtable, man. We out of here. You
Sir.
dig? Stay tuned. Coach Bombay.
I had to turn this time again. Y'all turn y'all hats for me, man.
Bam.
Shout out to everybody who copped hats recently. We love y'all.
Yes,
Love.
sir.
You know what I mean?
Turn your hats for me right now.
Road to
man.
100. Road to 50K subs. Stay locked in, you heard?
Fuck with us.
As promised, special guest to the Rap Roundtable, friend of the show, #1 dot connector in the overground space. We're not even gonna say underground.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
Coach Bombay, welcome
Can't
to the
stand
Rap
that term.
Roundtable.
What's the deal?
What's the word,
What
family?
up, what up?
Man, I'm here. You know what I mean?
How you feeling?
I feel great. You know what I mean? Like y'all said, yeah, friend of the family. You know what I mean? I've been,
Real.
It's a fact.
I want to say first and foremost, like, Coach has gotten us to some rooms that we had no business being in. We talked about earlier in the show, like, oh, you want to be cool and this and that. I'm always talking nice to Coach, you know what I mean? Because that nigga, we was in there like, oh shit. I always go back to the fucking Rand and Rome shit. You say, yeah, rap around, tell me, y'all got it? And the Coach left the room. And it took us like 7 minutes to figure out that he gave us the full ISO with Rand and Rome
yeah.
after the listening for the fucking Coupe de Gras release. And I'm like, oh shit. This is us.
Yes, sir.
We got to run a whole
Major.
interview before niggas came in there and shit.
Listen, man, y'all energy is genuine and it's organic and it's real. You know what I'm saying? And I'm the type of person that recognizes real. You know what I mean? So it's like when I see talent and I see someone that's doing something in a positive state, you know what I'm saying? And being true to the craft, to the form, which is what I really care about. Why not? You know what I mean? I know y'all not gonna go in there and say no sucker shit. Y'all gonna go in there and, you know what I mean, ask the right questions and be informative and also want to inform others on things. You know what I'm saying? So I fuck with y'all as far as that's concerned. You get what I'm saying? And on top of that, y'all really be outside. I know every single time that I've done something and I've been in the mix, I see y'all there. You know what I'm saying? And that's a lot of things that a lot of dudes with so-called podcasts don't do. They act like they're connected to the culture, but they don't be in the mix. I don't see you at no shows. I don't see you at no parties. I don't ever see you at all.
Talk about
That's
it.
real.
But I see y'all, you know what I'm saying, all the time. If Jarv is not, you know, Jarv is the most MIA one. If he can make it, you know, he's a important guy.
Hey, listen.
So if he can make
Facts.
it, Jarv would definitely be there though. You know what I'm saying? But I talk to Jarv every day. You understand what I'm saying? So that goes without being said. But you guys, we consider you family. You know what I'm saying? So
Same.
Likewise.
Same, brother.
at
love.
any time that I can extend to y'all pause, I will. You understand what I'm saying? So y'all fam for life.
Yeah.
I gotta get up.
Come on, man. I'm a pro at this. Pause. You know what I mean?
All right. So you know what? On the surface level of the person that doesn't know anything about anything will say, all right, Coach Bombay, manager of Rome Streets. But as I've gotten to know you, I've noticed that you,
And many others.
there you go, you have a long history in this shit.
Yeah.
You even rapped before you decided to become
Yeah.
an executive.
Yeah.
So tell us like your history in this space as an artist, and how did you get to this point where you are today?
Me as a rapper, that was like, how much time we got?
We got time.
Because that's
Let's
like,
ask Walt. Sorry, Walt.
it's like chapters to what became Coach Bombay 3000. You understand? And in the very beginning, I could go back to like years ago. I could go back to 9899 when I really put the pen to the pad and tried to be a rapper for real. And then, you know, we all have that journey from that first point when we fall in love with it and realize that we can actually do it, so we try. And I tried from like around like 98 until 2009 is where things really started to transform for me. And it was solely via the hands of Mutulu Olubala, aka M1 from Dead Prez. I was in Sam Ash and 42nd Street, just fucking with the MPCs and the SP1200s, trying to teach myself how to make beats. And one walks in, and I see him, and I'm like, oh shit, that's M1 from Dead Prez. That's crazy. And he walks up to me, and he's like, peace, black man, what you doing? I'm like, I'm trying to figure out these beat machines. And he's like, you make music? I'm like, yeah. So he said, come to Warrior Studios. It's a studio that Dead Prez had in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn, on Malcolm X.
Shout out.
And he said, come there and work on your craft. You know what I mean? You don't gotta be outside bullshitting, just come do it for real. So I said, sure. So I went to Warrior Studios, and it was me and a couple other younger brothers who was in there working on music as well. And M1 literally took me and just threw me in the mix. Like, and brought me to everything. He had a video shoot, he told me to pull up. He had a session, he told me to pull up. He had an album release party, he told me to pull up. I'm in a fucking limousine with him and Mike Koch from Koch Records, and he's telling them like, yo, my name used to be Grams. It used to be an acronym, gradually revolving around all music. And that was like my being. So he introduced me as Grams to everyone. So from that, I end up meeting D-Don, and D-Don was Dead Prez is like road manager, but also family A-alike, you know what I'm saying? People's Army, RBG, you know what I'm saying? And D-Don took a liking to me. So D-Don tells me to start coming everywhere with him. And then that's when things changed. That's when I went from just being a young scrap in Brooklyn trying to rap to being at like parties and like meetings and linking with people for real. It was a whole world that I didn't even know existed when I was in Brooklyn. You understand what I'm saying? I didn't know that this was a real thing. So they threw me in the mix, and then it was just like an olive branch that just helped me navigate. And I can honestly say I took about a good year and a half of just going out, going to the Lower East Side, Soho, meeting people, networking, people taking a liking to me and wondering who I am. And then I start telling people I rap. So they were like, you rap? And then I'm telling them, yo, I'm about to come out with a mixtape called Cupcakes. So I took all of the energy that I gained in the city and just had people waiting and wondering what I was gonna do when I put it out, because they didn't know what to expect from me. They just knew me as a person, but they didn't know what my music sounded like. Because one thing I could say was I wasn't one of those rappers that was always rapping.
Right.
Like, I rap for real. If you wanted me to rap, I can rap. But I wasn't like, yo, let me spit something for you. I wasn't one of them dudes.
You wasn't a thirsty rapper.
Yeah, I'm super observant. So I'd rather just learn, you know what I'm saying? Like, one of the ideologies I learned from being around Dead President is like to know your enemy and know yourself. And that's really just to sit back and observe everything before you act or do anything. You know what I'm saying? Don't be the one coming in the room the loudest. Try to read the room first and feel everything out. Know where your place is before you even make a maneuver. You understand what I'm saying? So I approached it with that mindset. And then I was always recording and just doing things and trying to get my shit on Smash and Two Dope Boys, and it wasn't working. You know what I'm saying? So the real thing that changed everything was Two Dope Boys did a holiday party, and they posted the flyer on Twitter. And I said, I'm gonna run down on these niggas when I go there. I said, I know Mecca or Shake is gonna be there, and I'm gonna run down on these niggas. And that's what I did. So I seen Mecca, he was DJing. I went up to the DJ booth. I'm like, yo, bro, what up, man? From Brooklyn, bro. My name Grams, yo. I be sending you music all the time. Y'all never post my shit. You know what I mean?
What's
like,
up?
what's the deal?
Right.
So he like, word? Like, I don't know what made him take me serious, because I felt like they probably got that all the time, or maybe they didn't, because this is super early blog days. You understand?
You probably was like one of like 30.
You wasn't a dickhead. That's all that was.
Right.
You know?
So he said, do me a solid. He said, send me your mixtape tonight, and I'll promise you I'll open it the next morning. I'll listen to your tape. And he did. And then he premiered my shit on Two Dope Boys, and he wrote a whole paragraph about how I seen him at the party and ran down on him and all that shit. And from that moment, that's when everything got real. You know what I'm saying? And then that's when people were seeing me like, yo, bro, I heard your tape. I didn't know it was like, you're crazy. Like, I didn't know your shit was that fire. You know what I'm saying? So then it just helped build more and more. And then like, that transcended into me like kicking in at the dojo and meeting Dash and Currency. And you know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I said, how much time do we have? Because there's so many layers to this shit. Like, it just literally adds to where I'm at now. You know what I'm saying? And then like from me doing the buzz, getting my buzz up with the music shit, that led to me making relationships with other artists. And then I already knew Flatbush Zombies is family. You understand what I'm saying? I already knew Juice from the hood. And they seen me doing my thing and they told me to start coming around with them. And I started touring with them, and then I was touring with Currency.
That's how you do the tour chops.
Right, and I'm doing this with no management. This is just me. You understand what I'm saying? Solely based off of relationships and just me knowing me. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I wish I had management because I was wilding. Like, I was still very much a Flatbush nigga.
Yeah.
Like, I was still very much dumbing out on niggas if I felt violated at a show. I pretty much damn near got blackballed from doing shows in the city because I pissed off one of the like biggest promoters. She's actually like a really good homie of mine. You know who you are. I'm not gonna say your name and make it hot. Peace to you, bro. But that took from growth because he was like, yo, bruh, tried to cut my set short. I said, fuck you, nigga, I'm still rapping. This nigga is losing his mind.
He's like, cut some set short,
but I understand now.
If you're not from New York, when he say he a Flatbush nigga, you gotta understand Flatbush is a world unto itself.
That's a fact.
If you know, you know. Carry on, coach.
So I was on that energy. I was on timing. So if I didn't give a fuck, you know what I mean? I just really looked at it like I was the illest nigga. So I was like, because the thing about when I used to perform, if you didn't understand my music, if you saw me live, you got it. You understand what I'm saying? Because my live shows is no fucking joke, which is why I was always good to get on a bill. And I used to just Debo my way onto bills. I used to just muscle my way onto bills. I would find out who's putting it together and then lean on them. Like, yo, come on, stop playing. You understand what I'm saying?
You get that.
And I used to roll like 30 deep with a bunch of niggas called For Fun. You know what I mean? Shout out to Hood Chef, Midnight, Dirty Turk, Brooklyn T. That's my family. You understand what I'm saying? So I come from that.
For fun.
For fun. They used to call us the Locos.
That's war.
The whole shit was loco life. We used to dumb shit out. We used to get kicked out of spots.
So let me ask you this
fight
as a
security,
follow-up.
all that, man.
What would you say like about you that once you got in those rooms, you linked up with Dead President, you made connects that you weren't pushed out of that room? Like, what would you say like allowed you to be vested in that space?
Relentlessness. Just not giving a fuck. Because trust and believe. See, this is the first time I really had a platform to talk about shit like this, but trust and believe. It's a bunch of niggas. Niggas you all know who's active right now or not active right now, who used to see me and be like, fuck is this nigga?
There's a lot of that in rap. There's a lot of who the fuck is this
Fuck
nigga?
let this nigga in here, man. Yo, I always see you here, man.
You have to bogart your way in, man.
And I didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
And some niggas used to be brazen enough to be like, yo, why everywhere I go, I see you here. And I used to tell niggas, I'm supposed to be here, nigga.
My turn.
Straight up. Give a fuck what you talking about. You ain't put me in here, nigga, but yet I'm still here. See, the thing about it is they too busy trying to figure out how I got in the room instead of respecting the fact that I'm in the fucking room.
Right.
You're here for a reason.
I'm here for a reason, and it don't matter how I got here, nigga. I got here because I got myself here. You didn't get me here, so who are you to question why I'm here?
Energy.
You understand what I'm saying? And I've always moved with that type of mindset. That's why I am the way I am when it comes to this management shit. You understand what I'm saying? Because it's like a thing with me, like, even down to this so-called underground shit, right? There's a fake gatekeeping type of energy with this shit. And trust me, I see all of it mainly because I manage Rome streets. You understand what I'm saying? But there's a lot of niggas who be like, yo, who's son? Where son come from? Especially with niggas that I'm putting on because I found them. And these are the same niggas that was in the crowd watching y'all niggas and y'all wondering why the fuck they starting to creep past. Because, nigga, or they starting to get a light on them. Because, nigga, I found them. And they always been in the mix. But don't fucking ask me who they are. Like, You expecting it to be some type of hospital? Like, what you think is the hospital for rappers? The place where rappers are born? Where was you born? Like, nigga,
That's real.
I'm here now. Where were you when you first heard Nas, nigga?
Right.
Where was you when you first heard Big, nigga? You was somewhere and you was wondering, you didn't question it too fucking much because you were told it's what it was.
Right.
But because you see a nigga actively out here really jugging, you gonna question his movements? He get into it just like you are. You understand what I'm saying? And if he's moving a little bit ahead of you, you need to look at what the fuck you doing, not who's doing it with him or doing it for him, pause.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So my whole thing from the beginning has always been relentlessness, bro. Constant, consistent, just staying at it.
Staying at it.
10,000 hours.
So let me jump in here now and connect the next dot. Cause how'd you go from being Grams to now doing tours with Rome Streets as his manager overseas, seeing all these cities, going all over the world? Connect that next dot for us.
What made you want to stop rapping and just say, I'm going to be a businessman?
Man, I got tired of it, man. Honestly, like,
First of all, how'd you meet Rome?
man, it's my guy.
Go
like,
there.
Brooklyn
Rome,
Tales.
before me and Rome never even talked about a bar. That was my dogs from the outside, from the blocks, from the scene.
Trenches.
Yeah, I mean, like, Rome was the nigga who used to be in the party with it. Whatever. Yeah, he used to have everything.
Salute.
You understand? And
Rome,
he used to
what
just
up?
be in the corner with it. You know what I mean? And I was at this point, Rome knew me since I used to rap. And when I used to rap, Rome used to ask me, like, yo, bro, how you getting on these tours? Like, he'll hit me, he'll text me, DM me, like, yo, bro, how you used to get on these tours and shit? I'd be like, yo, I just be lining it, yo. Like, I be laying on niggas' paws. Like, I be trying to really press my way into the situation. So I'm doing the music shit. I got tired of it, bro. I literally fell into a fucking point of, like, depression, nigga. I was just, like, confused. The trajectory of music was changing from a way that I didn't like to make it. You understand what I'm saying? And I just became jaunted by it, where I'm like, man, fuck this shit. I'm stressing. I'm a struggling artist. Niggas was broke. I got kids, nigga. Shit real.
Something got to
Real
hit.
life.
I literally hit a point where I was like, man, I don't know if I could keep sacrificing to just compete with these niggas. Not like I was like gracefully bowing out, but it was just like, life was real. So I just was like, I'm chilling. But I didn't want to give up on it because I still had creation in me. You understand what I'm saying? So I said, I'm gonna just transition to this artist, this management shit. I'm gonna just be an artist manager. I'm gonna just take everything that I know from what I did before and what I knew I needed, but I didn't get because I didn't have management, and I'm gonna just apply it to whoever I manage. So I had a bunch of artists before Rome. I tried over and over again, and it's just like it didn't line up. It was like either they weren't serious enough or I didn't see nothing that I could work with, or like, you know what I'm saying? It just wasn't lining up. And then one day, me and Rome got a mutual homie of ours named Telly from Ninja Sonic. Now, I don't know who's watching, or if you know who Ninja Sonic is, you know who Telly is. Shout out to Telly. You understand what I'm saying? That's a big fucking dog right there. You know what I'm saying? So Telly hits me, and he's like, yo, I see you doing the management thing. I think you should help Rome with his shit. And I'm like, Rome rap for real? He's like, yeah, bro. Like, he's like, Rome crazy, bro. Like, go look at his shit. So I start looking it up.
At this point, how long have you known Rome?
At that point, personally, I've known Rome for at least 6 years. 7 years. Like, this is my dog.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
And you had no idea.
I had no idea he was going crazy like that.
That's crazy.
Because you gotta understand, there was times when I did shows with Rome before, like we used to rock at the Flat. Rome wasn't doing what he's doing right now. He always had it in him, but he was just doing like, you know how like you know the new record on Noise Candy 5, Shake and Bake?
Yeah.
He was doing shit like that. He could do that with his eyes closed. So he was doing shit like that. He didn't really start doing, he seen Griselda and was like, these niggas is doing, man, what? This shit like walking. And he started doing it. So he's shaking shit up. And this is around Noise Candy 3. And Telly hits me like, no, look at Rome, bro. He's going fucking berserk, bro. He's like, you gotta help him. He's like, I know you could be the nigga to take it where he need to be. So then I tapped in and I was fucking blown away, bro. Like, this nigga is literally the best nigga I ever heard rapping in my life, son. I'm like, this nigga is crazy. You gotta understand, from me, I'm a lyricist. I'm an artist myself. I know what it takes to be a rapper.
Exactly what
the minute I heard this nigga, I said, oh my fucking God, bro. Like, I was just like, I was fucking frazzled, nigga. Like, this can't be real. Like, is this nigga this good? So then I hit him. And if you know Rome is mad whatever. Like,
chill.
Rome whole shit is this.
Mad chill.
Whatever, bro.
All right.
So
I believe it when I see it type shit.
Yeah, exactly. So I hit him and I'm like, yo, bro, I see you jugging, bro. I'm like, let me help you. And he's like, think about it. He's like, I don't know, bro. I gotta see, like, type shit. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to prove to this nigga that I could be the nigga that help him. You know what I'm saying? And I go on his IG, he posts DJ Premier playing 9-6 Naughty Windbreaker shit. And DJ's cutting it. DJ Premier cutting it back. Blah, 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 blah. And the record's so crazy, I thought Primo made the beat.
But
that was J.R. Swift. Shout out to J.R. Swift.
Yeah.
He channeled his inner Primo on that shit. That
Fire.
fucking beat is insane. I still listen to 9-6. Now I listen to that beat, I'll be like, yo, this beat is fucking crazy.
That was our introduction to Rome.
You know what I mean? So I hit him. And I'm like, yo, what you doing with this record? And he's like, what you trying to do? I'm like, yo, bro, you need a visual for it ASAP. And he's like, let's shoot it. So then I hit my man MF, shout out to Manual Focus, that's my dog. I said, yo, let's shoot this video for Rome. I sent the record to MF, he was like, hell yeah, let's get it.
That's the nigga that shot the 50 joint, right? Were you in Rome?
No. Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Yeah.
He did score 50. That's a fact. He also shot the Moonlight Marauder movie for Def Soldier.
Salute.
So
Quality
he like listened to it. He was blown away. He's like, yo, bro, let's do it. So then we shot the visual for Rome. Rome was just like, yo, it was like, at the time, it was one of the best videos Rome had. It was one of his most viewed videos.
Fire.
You understand what I'm saying?
That was the breakthrough record, you'd say?
Yeah, 9-6, so that's a fact. That's his, like...
Kick through the door.
We literally have conversations that trying to figure out if he's going to stop performing it at shows or not, because it's that much of a heater.
Not ever.
And we've done that song all over the world.
Yeah.
And every fucking city, every country,
Goes off.
Fire.
Turn that shit off. Everybody in the
shout out to
room
China.
know
That was
that
China,
shit.
right?
That was China.
Salute to China
Shout
Streets.
out to China Streets. That was China. That shit rings every single time. So it's like, that was enough for him to be like, all right, say less. You know what I'm saying? Let's do it, bro. And then it was just, we just been on our Mike and Phil shit ever since that point. You understand what I'm saying?
Before I let Mason and Dini come in here, I just gotta ask a question, because I see how you laid the foundation of the relationship. But it's not just Rome.
Mm-hmm.
You have a whole camp of artists, and if they're not even your artists, it's people who are in that sphere. Let's say, go with value.
Mm-hmm.
It's people when we go to your events, I see the same faces. If they're not on stage, they're in the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
How did you, from your perspective, how did you build that trust to where people say, all right, if Coach got it, we're gonna follow behind you? What do you think it is about you that they trust you enough to follow that vision?
I mean, it's really a show and prove thing, but trust and believe is not always fucking peaches and dandies.
Right, of course.
You understand what I'm saying? There's definitely been times where I had nothing to do with this shit, but niggas will blame me. I did literally. Like, when it all goes wrong, blame Coach.
That means
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All of a sudden, I'm treasurer, I'm fucking accountant, I'm the fucking the liaison,
Yes.
I'm the fucking voice of reason, I'm the leader of this shit.
Can't find my jacket. Where's Coach?
And then the niggas, because you know, like, out of my stable of artists, Rome is my flagship. That's the one who really helped me. Rome, shout out to my dog Streets. That's my brother for life. He's the one that really helped me be able to, for people to believe me. You understand what I'm saying? Because of everything that I've helped him do. You understand what I'm saying? But sometimes it gets to a point where it's like, people put too much faith in what I say. But that's not to say that I will let them down if you just let me do what I do. But sometimes people have an expectancy rate when it comes to me.
Yeah.
And that's just because they see what I do with Rome, what I do with Def, what I do with Bangs. You understand what I'm saying?
From success in a lot of ways.
So they just expect me to, but it's like, fam, you gotta understand, it's a two-way street. Everything that I do with Rome puts 50% into that too. It's not just me. He just makes it easy because good crack sells.
Yeah. That's a bar right there.
Heat, you understand?
Yeah.
If your shit's smoking, they gonna buy.
That's a fact.
Rome is good crack. I'm a hustler. I know how to move work. That's the best way I know how to describe it. So if you coming to me and you cooking up some shit, I'ma serve it. Don't worry, I got you. But I just need you to make good crack. Rome is just amazing with it. So he makes it look like, you know what I mean? But it's a lot of hard work, bro. It's a lot of hard work.
It's a triangle offense when you got Jordan in the midst of it.
Right. You understand what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's the reason why I did things like deliberately found Def Soldier and put him in position.
But that's why I asked the question, because I've seen you had Def.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? You had other artists, shout out to him,
Big
but
Bronx.
you've had people in position, and it's like they trust you. That's the thing that stood out to me, is like these guys trust you to get them there.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's impressive to me, because it's like, as much as you can have a stable of people, there's always that one ally. Like, man, fuck this nigga. Why I gotta listen to this nigga? For you to have these people around you, I find it impressive the way they see the vision and they willing to follow you there. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I wonder, did you have to sell them, or is it a situation where it's just like, you know what? We fuck with Coach, we see what he's done, and we're gonna just follow him.
It's a trust factor, and it's from showing and proving. And Def Soldier, like, my management company is called Social Misfit. Shout out to the gang. Def Soldier, T. Jostin, Jizzy Blanco, Raina Simone. Shout out to Mailbag, Street of G. You understand what I'm saying?
Gang. A lot of good folks in that group right there.
Like,
Is Sleeves part of that team?
Yeah, that's Jizzy.
Sleeve, that's Jizzy Blanco.
Shout out
Sleeve.
Sleeves.
You know what I mean? And it's like, all right, Def was the first one. I've seen him. He hit me saying he wanted to open up for Rome. I checked out his shit. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, if you hit me up saying you want to open for Rome, or if you have beats for Rome, I look at every single one of y'all messages. If I don't say anything, it's not it. So just know that, because I hope this message will keep these fucking messages from. I know they're not gonna stop. But I listen, I look at everybody, because you never fucking know.
Somebody might have a jam.
That kid is fucking dead. He's dead.
So when you didn't reply to my email, that's what it was?
Damn it, man.
You email. You should have texted me. Sink got my number. You playing.
I'm playing.
But it's like, I pay attention to everyone. You understand what I'm saying? This nigga know damn well he could text me if you want to send me.
Nah, that was
email is the worst
ago.
way. I don't open none of them emails. My beats in the email is quiet. You got to send me a clip on IG or Twitter. That's what the smart niggas do. They be sending me shit and I listen to it real quick, and I'm like,
So,
but if it's a fire, I log in. You know what I'm saying?
So as far as managerial style, do you have like a kind of like a set format that you, like a philosophy you like basically run with, or just like you have like a different way you engage each specific artist?
It depends. I'm on organics, so I really like to see who the person is before I make a sound decision. Like, for instance, like I was saying, Def hit me. I looked at his message. I went on his page. He had a video out called Stimmy. He just had a look in his eye that I knew he was serious about what he was saying, about how he felt about his music. So I told him to link up with me. And Rome's DJ Naquai, shout out to Naquai.
Salute Naquai.
She was at this spot. She was spinning at this spot. It was a fucking club in the train station. Like, it was some wild shit she got booked for. I was like, what the fuck? It's like in the train station, there's a secret door. There's a fucking club in there. So she's spinning that spot. I told Def to pull up. And then I linked them there, and we literally kicked it for like 2 hours just talking. When I found Jizzy Blanco Sleeves, I sat on the phone with him for 2 hours.
Big Memphis, right?
Yeah, that's a fact. Shout out to the whole Memphis. That man is, yo, I could get into it about Sleeves. He's a
I
fucking,
fucks with Sleeves. Sleeves
he's
is a character,
bro.
man.
He's crazy, bro.
Salute to Sleeves.
But it's like, I have to link with you organically before I make a business maneuver with you. Because to me, personalities matter, energy matters, who you are as a human being. You could be a really good rapper, but you could be a complete sucker at the end of the day. And I've had artists that I've worked with who was like, you were good at doing music, but personally I thought you was a sucker. You didn't really match the energy of everyone around me, because I'm a 10 toes down. Like, I handle my business, but I'm a street nigga at the same fucking time. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I've been through shit from shelters to the island. Like, I've seen it all. You understand what I'm saying? So I have a realness that I attach to my soul that you have to try to, like, I gotta see your ideology in it. I know when it's a nigga who ain't really get his hands dirty, or, you know what I mean? Or a pampered motherfucker, or, I know all of these energies. I'm really good at reading people. You understand what I'm saying?
Crazy, because I remember with Def Soldier, before we even knew that there was a connection there. There was a show in Williamsburg, and we just walked up on him like, yo, we need you on the podcast, bro. Not knowing that you already had the vision for him. So I can understand. When you say you see the look in his eyes, it's like, yeah, that makes sense, because we see the same shit. Like, yo, we fuck with them.
Man,
you know what I mean?
He's one of the best niggas rapping right now, especially in a live platform. Like, if you, like, he's like, Def remind me of me. To where it's like, you'll hear his shit, you'll think it's fire, but you'll understand more once you meet him, once you get to know him, once you see him in the flesh, pause, you'll understand, like, yo, he's fucking serious. He's for real about what he says and who he is, and who he says he is. He's really El Soldado, for real. That's him. That motherfucker, man, he team captain, bro. I ain't never seen nobody work as hard as Def Soldier, bro.
Def be acting.
So it sounds like what you don't necessarily look for a specific type of type of artist, but a person who stays true to themselves, no matter where they coming from.
Don't forget, like, don't get it twisted. The Sonics got to be on top at the same time. But yes, that's also important as well. Like, who you are as a human being on a daily, especially right now. What's this, the 24th of November in 2023? It's a lot of sucker shit going on. And I use that word extensively so you can understand just what the type of realm we're in. It's sucker shit. It's whole energy. It's motherfuckers wilding for a retweet, wilding for a like, selling soul, doing whatever the fuck they got to try to get lit. But this shit, like, bro, like, they piss me off sometimes, because
they piss us off too.
I come from a place and a state. I come from this. First of all, if you was an MC or if you was a rapper or whatever the fuck, an artist, you ain't tell nobody that shit unless you knew your shit was right and exact. So if you stepped into the cypher and your shit wasn't right and exact, niggas was burning you up and getting you out of here, and you couldn't come back until you got your shit right and exact.
Bring ciphers back.
This nigga Bill Gates came out here, he done made them shits, these motherfuckers. These fucking MacBooks. Kicked the bucket and got the fuck out of here. Now we got 1,100 million niggas with careers. Niggas get their little tap, their little pal.
I've never thought of it that way.
They get their little income tax, get the computer, the mic. When we starting now, I'm a rapper.
Yeah.
Today is the day. I started now.
Bastardizing this shit.
And then they
Gift and the curse, man.
They see somebody who comes out. I'm not going to name any names specifically, but there's artists out there that got lit within 12 months and they think it's just that, oh, this is real. This is real. We all can hit the lottery.
Honestly.
Yeah.
And I'm just not a fan of the participation sports. I don't care about that shit.
So I told you I liked you when I met you. Because
Like,
I say the same shit.
I
That
hate
participation
shit.
trophy energy.
That participation shit is corny. I'm not going to give you the commitment that a nigga who's putting blood, sweat, and tears in for this shit just because you can put words together over a beat. That's,
So
you
coach,
know what I mean?
just for the sake of argument, and we know how our audience is, some people hear that would say you just an angry New York nigga. What do you say?
I
to
don't
that?
care. We all gonna get that fucking that clause, like whatever. You weren't there.
There you
I don't
go.
give a fuck what you talking about. You were not there. You can have this whole rhetoric about Hove not being that lit. Motherfucker, I was just in the fucking Brooklyn Museum.
Salute.
Your favorite nigga don't got nobody with a museum form right now in they city.
Extreme exhibit. Amazing.
That nigga who this nigga went on 2 world tours with his wife.
Crazy.
Sonny and Cher ain't even do that shit. I'm not hearing it. So I don't care. I can be the old angry purist or whatever the fuck you want to label. I was there, nigga. I was outside. I knew what it looked like to wake up in New York City in 1996 in the summertime and see the sunshine different.
Facts.
Speaking of New York,
You know what I mean?
Speaking
I
of New
know.
York, big New York. So you got Bronx ties, you got Brooklyn ties, and you said you're really good at reading artists. Can you let us know, like, do you think those ties? Because I feel like me being from the Bronx, like, almost like am laser focused on how to spot some shit out. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? How does those borough ties, those New York ties, like help you as a manager to navigate the way the music
Man,
business is?
it's really what makes me me, because it's like I said, I seen it. You understand what I'm saying? Long story short, I was born in the Bronx, Castle Hill Projects. I went to middle school with this nigga.
Yeah.
And then I moved to Brooklyn when I was 14. The whole entire time I was just a student of the game. When I was in the X, that's when I really started to get into being outside. That was my early formative years of like
Outside.
being in the mix, going to the murder,
You know what I'm saying?
rapping with
Monroe
Chaz
Projects.
outside,
Salute to Chaz.
getting into
Love.
fights. You know what I mean? It formed me for who I am. And then at the same time, it also fueled my fire. I got the spark from hip hop from my uncle Andy. That's like my big brother. Like, I've seen that man do everything from graduating like 5 degrees. He's a fucking like, I think he's like a sergeant or something like that in the army now. Like, he was my idol. CD folders, mad CD folders. Midnight Marauders, Stakes is High.
Culture.
You know what I mean? Hard to earn.
Remember those,
I'm
y'all?
just looking at these
CD
things.
folders.
Folders, books. I'm going through them and I'm just studying. So then when I get a little bit, I'll get my summer youth job. 1998, the best
spitting
year
right now.
in New York. 1998,
Talk
the best
about
year for hip hop and the best year. It was just the best year of my life that summer. I started working summer youth. Started getting my little checks,
$100.
smoking weed for the first time. In one summer, I got Nore Noriega, Capital Punishment, Big Pun, Cameron Confessions of Fire.
I got that the same
DMX
day.
is hot. It's dark and hell is hot.
And
wait,
I
what
dropped
else?
the same year.
Hard Knock Life.
No, Hard Knock Life.
Hard Knock Life was that September.
Blood,
That
Flesh of
summer
My
before.
Flesh was 98 too.
Flesh of My Flesh was in
But you're
December.
talking about the summer.
Oh, summer,
summer, that's summer.
Copy.
But listen, Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood. I had a CD spot on Parkchester train station right there I used to go to. It was the little Asian lady. She
Big
used
Bronx.
to get all of the albums months before they came out. I went there to just go see what they had. She said, I got new DMX. I said, you fucking lying. She pulls out Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood. I said, get the fuck out. I'm looking at it. I'm like, this is a real DMX album. You made another one? Cop this shit. Go to the
Unbelievable.
crib.
If you 14
Yeah.
at that time, a nigga dropping twice in the year was
It was
like
kind of weird. It was
Mind-boggling.
wild. No, I
Major.
thought it was
Thought you was
fake.
bugging.
I'm like, wow, this can't be real. Then I copped it. I'm looking at it. I'm reading it. I'm like, Swiss beat. Whoa, this is the real. All right.
Back when X was that
Held it
guy.
in the crib. Went back to Steve-O. Told everybody, yo, I got DMX new album. Niggas, nah, you fucking lying. I said, all right. I went back to the crib. Next morning, 160 lunchroom. I'm on the lunch table. like this. Yo, I got the new X. Niggas is like, yo! Bought the case, left the CD at home because it was still New York.
Yeah.
You wasn't going home with that shit.
Niggas will see your shit. Let me see it, bro. And then they hit 7 hands. You come back home.
Not to let me see it.
We went through that with Get Rich or Die Trying a few years later. So I recognize
So
that.
I was
remember that.
there in the
Let me
mix.
see that bike.
Snatchies.
You know the vibe.
Yo, let me see your
Fighting
bike.
over that shit.
You know what
2
I
hours
mean?
with
Never
your
see
shit.
that bike ever
To
again.
see that energy in the flesh to be there, bro, is the reason why I beat my chest like I do when it come down to this New York rap shit, bro. I was in the mix.
Now, we could get into the New York. We got a New York bias here, of course. And we could talk,
New York
we can talk
Bias
that.
3 is on the way.
We can talk
Not
that.
Deanie.
Volume 2. We can talk
Not
that.
Deanie.
We can
I
talk
love New
that.
York.
You know?
Oh, okay. But wait, who's the bias?
We can talk. We all biased. We all biased. We all biased
He's
in
the
New
least
York.
biased of the 3 of us. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Love my track.
But, you speak about the old New York, but what I'm interested in, you spoke about, Flatbush Zombie tours, sold out tours, by the way. We know about your connections to the ASAP crew as well.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So when it comes to I get the classic New York feel, but honestly, when it comes to the aesthetic of what New York sees themselves now, you kind of all the way in the mix with that as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So speak about that era, that post-90s,
I respect
pre-now era.
I respect it
'Cause you right up in there.
I respect it 100% because that's why I kept telling you niggas how much time we got, bro. Another section of my life, Mel. This is Mel. This is not Grams. This is not Coach. This is Mel. 1994 to the end of 1996, going into 97, I was in Atlanta, Georgia. This is the year, this is when Goody Mob came out, Outkast came out. I was listening to 8 Ball and MJG. I was listening to UGK.
Big South.
I had no choice. It was the South, but I fucked with it. I had Master P Ice Cream Man in Atlanta. I got it on bootleg. I come back to New York and I'm telling niggas about this shit, and they looking at me like I'm smoking angel dust. They like, this shit is trash. Like, what are you talking about? I'm like, UGK is
Were you
trash.
talking to Sin when you said that?
I'm like, you
No,
talking
not
pocket
with-
full of
not with
stones is
Outkast.
trash. I'm listening to this shit. I'm like, y'all bugging. Like,
Not without Outkast.
Maybe
Tough.
Masterpiece.
I'm talking about
Maybe
for real,
Masterpiece.
bro.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm in the city. Like, Ludacris came out. I knew who Luda was. Luda used to be on Hot 97 in Atlanta. His name was Chris Lover. He used to be on there with Shaka Zulu. He used to
he was
freestyle on there.
DJ.
I knew who Luda was when he came out.
Wait, what was his name though?
Chris Lover.
I
That was
didn't
his
know
rap name. He used to have an afro. He was on Hot 97 in Atlanta. I knew who he was.
He
so
referenced it
when
on one of his singles. I think, What's Your Fantasy?
Yeah, bro, he was on the radio.
Yeah.
So when What's Your Fantasy came out, I knew who Ludacris was. I copped his album. The homies is looking at me like I'm bugging.
First album was fire.
So I've been on the transitional wave of what is different. It then became a point where around the blog era, it became cool to listen to other shit that wasn't regular hip hop shit.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Alternative?
I'm a victim of that era.
Not alternative, but kind of
Different.
like southern shit. Like
Oh, okay.
niggas started getting into 3-6 Mafia on the low again. That's why Juicy J, when he popped back out, he blew up because niggas was already kind of like, it was bubbling like on the Tumblr wave and all that.
Yeah, I remember.
Niggas was listening to Juicy J. Niggas was listening to 3-6 Mafia. Niggas was listening to Tommy Wright the Third. Niggas was listening to Skinny Pimp. Like, it was a little wave. Like when I talked about For Fun, we used to be in the Fun House on Nostrand Avenue in Flatbush. All of the locos. We used to smoke weed and listen to fucking Devin the Dude and shit like that.
Right.
Because it was just wavy. It was just fire shit. You know what I'm saying? So it always had a way to transition into it, but I always was on time with that. I always knew what it was with the other shit outside of real New York boom bap shit. So when Flacco started popping, I was already tapped in. I already knew what it was, and I got it. You understand what I'm saying? Shout out to Rocky, that's my dog. You know what I mean?
Peso was a
R.I.P.
game changer.
Eastside Stevie, that's my mans. Like,
sir.
So,
these is my
Shouts to
mans
Yams,
for
man.
real. Like, in the mix.
so from taking it to from this New York shit to this overseas shit, tell us about what the scene is like out there. First of all, tell us how many cities you touched. Just go down the resume.
Shit, bro.
Man, we got
I
time.
don't even know. Word, right? Like niggas, UK,
Yeah.
fucking Germany. Pick one, like Berlin, or you know what I mean, like Cologne.
Amsterdam.
I feel like the Greece
Italy,
picks are
Rome.
epic. The Greece picks are legendary
Rome,
at this
Rome,
point.
Italy,
Yeah.
Milan, Italy, Bologna.
What's the energy like
Greece.
out there
Heaven.
compared to here?
Heaven. Heaven.
Speak on it.
Treatment's probably crazy.
We good for life. Like, I don't care what happened with everything else. We could go to Europe and get a bag. It's that real. We had just give you an example of the spectrum of what I'm talking about. We're in Berlin. And we got a show that night. And we're like, yo, how many tickets we sold? And the dude's like, you sold like half the venue. We didn't sell out that night. And he's like, wow, what happened? He's like, you guys split the room. He said, the Beatnuts is doing a show right down the block.
Oh wow.
Wow.
And we're like, the fucking Beatnuts?
Watch out now.
Psycho Lesson Juju?
Nice.
Psycho Lesson Juju took half the venue because they was partial. Some of them, we want to see Roman, so I gotta go see fucking Off the Books live.
Legends.
That's how real it is overseas with the hip hop shit. We always have a place, no matter what. As long as you got your core following, you could put a whole run together. We're in the hotel. We're in Switzerland. We did a show the night before. We go downstairs for breakfast. Who's in the fucking breakfast room? Master Ace and Marco Polo.
Wow.
Moving around. We'll always be good. Europe takes care of hip hop.
It does.
I don't care
They
who
always
you
say
are,
that.
what
They
you
pop
thinking.
out to the show.
They
They
always say
take
that.
care of us. They love us. They idolize us. And they want to do what we do. But you know what's the great thing about them? They just stay fans.
That's it. That's it.
That's a
They
bar
don't
right
try
there.
to go do it.
First thing I want to say is, you just now when you mentioned Devin the dude and being from Flatbush and all of that, I think that's fire because I got family from Flatbush
What side?
and on 29 and Foster side.
okay,
you
say
know what I
that.
mean? And he used to tell me all the time, yo, we all some wavy shit in Flatbush. I used to I'm from the floor, so I'm like, you got it, nigga. Y'all niggas front. But you saying y'all niggas we just wanted to boom some shit and listen to some good vibes. You just made him right many years later. I gotta go give him I gotta go pay homage and I go see him next time.
I'm telling
What a
you.
job it is,
You know what I'm
man.
saying?
Listen, man, you gotta understand. Growing up as a West Indian, you'll be introduced to all types of flavors of music. You got
Facts.
like, you know how many homies I have who parents listen to country music and they're from Jamaica or Guyana or Trinidad. They listen to country music.
Nigga, I grew up on fucking 80s pop music. Nigga.
Yeah, right.
Apples
That's
in my
what I-
rotation, nigga. You shitting me?
My music palette is Quentin Tarantino levels. That's because of Lorraine Johnson Jackson, my mother. Shout out to mommy, I love you. She is the reason why I know what I know about extensive music. Why I
Salute
know
Mom
about
Dukes.
Metallica, or I know about Hall & Oates, or you know what I'm saying? Or I know about Depeche Mode. Like I listen to all of that shit. If you come to my crib and I listen to the wildest shit, and you'll be like, you fuck with this, bro? Hell yeah, I fuck with this. Just had a Friendsgiving at my house. Watched everybody in Guitar Hero. I go crazy.
But let me ask
Go
you this
crazy.
now, and this is an important question for people who have aspirations, and for myself, just curious. You know, you manage Rome. It's less about Rome and more about you. But you manage this artist. You get him to a certain space where he gets this look. He gets with Griselda. You know who West Side Gun is as a curator. I know as an outsider looking, and I'm like, how is Coach gonna handle that? Because it's like, I've seen you be in rooms where you orchestrated the whole play. That was you.
Running plays.
You know what I'm saying? But now you bring your artist to a person who's also orchestrating plays. So how did you manage yourself as saying, like, ego? Like, Wes might want to do this, but I think it's a good idea. We still see you curating. Video just dropped a few weeks ago.
Absolutely.
You put that play together. So how did you
Absolutely.
manage yourself saying, I gotta trust Wes, but I know I still have ideas that shit could move in a certain type of way?
Because I don't have an ego. Like I don't have an ego. Like I'm so cool on everything. Like I don't be pressed about nothing. Some people confuse the maneuvers I make or the way that I carry myself as ego, but that's just me being confident in who I know I am, because I'm not going to allow you to tell me who I am. So I don't feel challenged by anything. Gun is where Gun is because of fucking Gun. I respect his mind. You understand what I'm saying? That man knows what he's doing. You gotta be a fool to try to challenge that shit. He knows what he's doing. And
Curator.
everything that he said he was going to do for Rome, he done.
That's real.
And I got no qualms with that.
Big Griselda.
You understand? Big
Real.
Griselda, for real, because he literally helped change our lives, for real. Now,
Beat that.
that's not to take anything from Streets, because Streets, before this point, if you hear a Rome Streets album, up to like the first album that I could say I got him beats, he put out a EP called Residue. And I gave him a beat that I had from like 2008, gave it to him. He still rap. Foolism. That beat is from like 2008.
Shit.
Wow. Okay.
Gave it to him. He was like, yo, this shit sound like some doom shit. He started going crazy. This is COVID. So that's the first time I like had any say in anything Rome does. You understand what I'm saying? But he always puts everything together himself. He goes into a hole. Rome literally just disappears for like a week and then sends me music. Just texts me shit. He don't say nothing. He'll just text me songs, and I'll be like, God damn, this nigga. He just sending me, just going crazy.
Rome's different.
So
man.
then fast forward to now, Noise Candy 5 is where I could say I really had more hands on. You understand what I'm saying? Because I asked him what he wanted. He told me, yo, I want to do a joint with Joey. I called Joey. I know Joey personally. Joe, you need a joint. Joey did it for him. Yo, I want to do a joint with Currency. I called Currency. That's my homie personally. Yo, wrong. But at the same time, they're not doing this for favors of like, all right, because they know me as Grams. All right, Grams called me, so I'm going to do this. No, they already respecting Rome's pen.
Makes the transition easy.
Right, because I already tried to hit spitter about Rome. Like, yo, Pete my dogs. He's like, nigga, you late. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, all right,
Shout
cuz
out
say
to
less.
Andretti, man.
You know what I mean?
Nah, but I asked that only because of the conversations we've had, and I understand how you are as a creative, and you're not a person that just puts some shit out.
No.
Like, you got an idea, this is what it is, this is point A, this is point B. So it's like, sometimes it's like, when you say there's no ego, it immediately made more sense to me because you're comfortable stepping back because I know you have ideas.
Absolutely.
And I've seen those ideas unfold. So it's like, how do you position that now? Like, all right, I'm going to wait right here. Then I'm going to say something. Or do you just understand that when it's time to observe and when it's time to speak, that's how you just play the whole situation?
Well, it depends like on the artist. Like, for instance, with Sadato, like, we operate off the trust factor. And the trust factor was built off of militant minded. That was the first time that he ever let anybody orchestrate or put a project or help him put a project together.
That's the one with Streeter G, right?
Yes.
Love that album.
That was where I first met Streeter. It took some convincing, you know what I'm saying? Because Streeter was very personal about his beats. And I'm telling them like, yo, nah, I got a dude who could play sax on this joint and a dude that could play guitar on this joint. And Streeter like, I don't know, bro. I'm setting up sessions. Streeter not coming. Me and Def just knocking out the joints. I'm like, yo, tell Streeter to come, bro. He talked to him. Streeter pulled up. We worked on Militant Minded in Sir School. Shout out to Harry Fraud. Shout out to Herb Sims, who helped engineer and mix the whole joint. So we worked on it in there. And Streeter came and I told him what I was talking about. And he understood from then. He was like, all right, I see what you're doing. Because the thing about me is, with music, it just gotta be something more, man. It just can't be a 2-track and you rapping, bro. Like, what are you doing? What are you saying to differentiate yourself from these million niggas? Like, 7 million songs get uploaded every day into the online database. 7 million songs.
That's a lot of
from a different nigga. Like, you feel me?
That's wild.
So what are you doing to stand out amongst all these niggas? You respect we gotta do something else to at least stand out, like to look like we gotta be we're trying to do something different.
Right.
I always tell my artists, for every 10 steps you take, there's somebody taking 20 steps, so you have to take 40 steps to stay ahead of all of these motherfuckers because niggas is running to this shit. One sperm cell makes a kid. It's a fucking million of them shits. You gotta be the one that break into the egg. What are you doing? You understand what I'm saying? So I approach it all with a different type of creation to the way that we put things together. And they just trust. You understand what I'm saying? Like
the level of urgency that you preaching.
We put together Moonlight Marauder. That shit is fucking immaculate to me. Go stream Moonlight Marauder, Deaf Soldier right now. You can listen for yourself and understand what we talking about.
Salute to the producer. What's his name again? Sven?
Seb.
When
Remember Seb.
bro? We need
Seb
the
back.
movie.
The movie is dropping in December.
Okay.
There we go.
Whoa.
Need that.
It was supposed to come out before, but we fucked around and made a movie for real.
Yes, we saw the trailer, nigga.
And we thought we was gonna chop
You
that
said,
bitch up
nigga.
in music video time. No, nigga, we ended up with a fucking movie. And we're like looking at like, damn, niggas is making a movie. Like, you gotta get the color correction correct.
It was tough to chop it and keep the cohesion type shit.
It's color correction, bro. Sound. It's everything. It's a movie.
And we seen the link up happen in real time on Twitter. Anything you could tell us about a Schoolboy Q roam?
I can't talk about that.
All right.
Can't.
Copy.
I've seen it though.
But we seen it.
It's
a
a
secret, but yeah.
I have a question for you.
Oh, I think Mase was about to jump in, bro.
While we on, you know, I love the business talk as much as anybody else. You know what I mean? I'm a behind the scenes nigga. I love hearing shit like that. But listen, man, I gotta get on my hip hop shit a little while.
Talk about it
with the boy. You know what I mean? Now, Coach, I know we got the least interaction amongst the crew. You might not know I'm an investigator, bro. I will find you, bro. I will find you now.
Black Nardwar, man.
Now, what you mentioned, you spoke about your hip hop influences. The first two albums you mentioned was Stakes Is High and Midnight Marauder. Now, you got a Stakes Is High tattoo, correct?
Yes, I do.
Got
How
you.
the fuck you know that? This is Nardwar.
Hey, listen, man. Listen, man. You know how we give it up.
I got Stakes Is High tatted on my arm, man.
And I do also happen to know that when Phife Dawg passed, you were personally affected. Fucked you up for a little while.
Gee, man.
Yeah,
Like,
man.
I've never cried about nobody dying. I fucking boo-hooed when Phife.
The 5-footer.
Sure. Rest in peace to the homie.
Because, man, it goes all back to my mom's and my uncle. Tribe and De La was my first real introduction to hip-hop. Like, the understanding of the sonics of putting together dope ass beats in a cohesive album. You understand what I'm saying? The first raps I ever learned bar for bar was Dr. Dre the Chronic and Snoop Doggy Dogg Doggy Style. That's because my mom's had them in the car. She played it all the time, and I just
30th year
rapped along
anniversary.
with them. Right. But at some point, that was like the same year, wasn't it? Was it at 9-2?
As what?
9-3?
9-3.
When Midnight Marauder came out, right?
Yeah.
Same
All right.
thing as Into the Wu-Tang.
Midnight Marauder came out. My Uncle Andy had the CD. The first thing that captivated me before I even listened to the music, before I even knew it was the same dudes that made Left My Wallet to El Segundo and Bonita Applebum, was the cover of everybody's face. And I'm like, that's Red Alert, and that's Beastie Boys. I knew they were. I studied these niggas.
yeah.
Mind you, I'm like 8 years old, bro.
Yeah.
I knew who they were.
Yeah.
I seen all the shit. I'm like, damn, everybody on this album, I didn't know what it was. So then I listened to it. And bro, it just, man, it changed my life. Yeah. Even I listened to Midnight Marauder to this day, bro. I listened to it yesterday. I got ready. Like, it's so good, bro. Like,
the music.
From the intro, from the guide, the tour guide, to Steve Binko, to Award Tour, it's just like pow, pow, pow. These niggas was like bugging when they made that shit. And then from then, I just like got sucked into this vortex, this native tongue vortex. And then
Been there.
I got into De La, but I like De La. Like 3 Feet High was cool at this time.
Yeah.
Young me, not really.
Yeah. Right.
Because
Not knowing what you don't know.
Right.
you know what I mean? That's cool.
Had to elevate.
De La Soul is Dead was cool, but that fucking album is insane. Like, it's one of the best hip hop concept albums ever. Prince Paul is a fucking genius. I got to build with Prince Paul one time.
Oh,
Man,
that's dope.
man. By the time Stakes is High came out, I didn't know De La had a new album. This is 9-5. My aunt Leslie bought it for me for Christmas and gave it to me. You know, De La Soul got a new album. I'm like, nah, I didn't know. Put that shit in. It was just the best thing I ever heard in my life. It's literally the blueprint to the way I make music. Stakes is High, that's why I have it tatted on my arm. It's the blueprint to the way I make music. The way how profound that intro was, to how left the beat structure was for that intro, to how there's points in the project where they would have a record, the song would fade out, and then another beat would fade in. And then that beat would play for about 10 seconds, and then that would fade out, and then go into another record. Or they would play a snippet, like, for instance, at the N1 record, they play a snippet from Down Syndrome, and it like fades out, and then it fades into Down Syndrome. Let me tell you a little something about the Self. Tell them Self, like it fades into that, and then it fades out again. You understand what I'm saying?
Sonical experience.
Down
Syndrome is fucking crazy.
It's the threading of all of
the way they put it together.
Build.
You're sweating, ain't you? And then the song starts. Like, what? Bro, this is 9-5.
Cinematic shit.
I was blown away. So that's why it's on my arm, because that is like the fucking crescendo
That's
to
funny.
me, dog.
That's
like,
the same
you know what I'm
experience I
saying?
have with What the Album. The Redman
Right,
shit.
right. And sidebar, all 3 plugs have seen this tattoo and commended me for it.
That's
all
dope.
3 of them
Salute.
seen it.
Salute.
R.I.P. to Dave True
Plug
Boy.
one,
yeah.
plug two, plug
Dina,
three.
you
They
was about
all
to jump in
seen
with a
it.
question before Mase.
So you've seen this from the music business from all aspects. You know, I'm sure you've seen it as an artist, as a exec, you know, manager in production, executive production, directing with the films and shit. Like, what's your it's a 2-pronged question actually. What's your favorite part of the music industry, and what's your least favorite part of the music industry?
The shows is my number 1 favorite part, because it's nothing like that organic, true
That
energy.
energy, man.
It's just feeling it vibrating. From when I used to rap, it was the best. And even now, when I see like Rome or Def go out there, it just go crazy.
Crowd
I
reaction.
just love it. You know what I'm saying? So the shows, it's number 1. And then after that, the visuals, because at this point right now in my career, everybody that I work with, as far as managing them, they trust my vision as far as like directing skills go, because I'm a fucking cinephile. Like, I love
man.
You
movies.
sitting next to the right guys.
Yeah.
Listen,
We already had a whole build about movies like a year ago.
I go crazy with movies. I just absorb them shits, from shot list to just production value. Just, I'm really
Real quick before I
heavy on
jump
it.
in on that Rome video, don't think I ain't peep. You was getting your Birdman on with that trailing shot when he was arguing with Shorty and it was
Yep.
one
Yep.
steady shot. I peeped the game.
That's also like homage to like Spike Lee,
Talk about it.
Yeah.
because he always has like a dolly shot,
Dolly,
a tracking shot,
Off
a
center.
consistent moving
You know what
shot.
I mean?
It's also homage to Quentin Tarantino, who does like
QT.
cuts, like moving from frame to, but he does crazy long
Yes.
shots. Like it's not the opening sequence, but it's the first time you see Jules and Vincent
Pulp
Vega
Fiction.
when they open up the trunk and they get in the shotguns. After they close the trunk, the shot from them walking into the building to when they get to the door before they go in the crib and shoot everybody up is one shot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Watch it again. It's literally like 3 to 4 minutes of a continuous tracking shot. If you know anything about cinema, that's fucking nuts.
Yeah.
They have to remember these lines. There's no punching in.
Nope.
They gotta keep that energy going. That's what makes Samuel L. Jackson and fucking John Travolta the masters they are.
Yeah.
Because they go continuous with no cut. So when you see something like that, I'm paying homage to that.
The steady movement.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes. It's called a tracking shot.
You can't trip.
High art.
It
talk,
followed
guys.
Rome,
Don't fuck
and Rome
with
was
me.
never facing the camera. It was the back of Rome, from the
Yeah.
argument all the way to him walking out the door. And I'm like, this motherfucker.
It's a
coach.
tracking shot. even the opening scene with him smoking, being
Yeah.
reflective and is pulling back from the city, that's like my homage to like some 1970s. This is the only, like when he was doing this shit, Rome. Sorry, bro, I gotta keep it G. Rome told me to take the font out the beginning. It was supposed to be like the beginning of like fucking Superfly, nigga. Like it's zooming out, you see him smoking, and then it says Chrome Magnum in the big Pulp Fiction font, which is the font that I use for it. I just had to get that out of my system.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make a passion play, and Rome said he wanted something that looked like a movie. So I said, let me, I got you. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at it, there's
Little homage to Belly
there's
too.
homage to Belly. in
Trust the
there.
vision.
That's an
All right.
architect talking.
Y'all watch that video enough? There's another homage in there to a hip hop movie that's in the film. Did y'all catch the reference?
Nah.
You didn't catch the
I'm not
reference.
even gonna bluff. I ain't catch it.
The last scene before he gets in the limo, before he claps, son, was a homage to Juice. That whole area is where Q and fucking Bishop was chasing each other, shooting at each other.
When you try to shoot him in the
Riverside,
Right.
motherfuckers.
Shout out to Pretty Tony in the
ain't gonna
building.
shoot
He's
in this
also
elevator?
he was one of the shooters in the
Talk
video.
about
Shouts to Tony,
You know
man.
what I mean? But that's from Juice. You understand what I'm saying? So I just took these little things and I said, let me just put this in there just to make this that. You understand what I'm saying?
I'm slacking. not
But then
catching
it is
that.
other times. I
Juice
also
God, right?
directed the Shake and Bake video. You understand what I'm saying? I shot that with the homie Jesse Vargas. Jesse set up, he got the whole shit set up in LA, but I shot by shot. It gotta be like this, it gotta be like that. Put the two girls parallel in the frame so they could be properly dimensioned, sit Rome in the middle, slow dolly pushing. I just do that. You
That
understand
type
what I'm
of
saying?
detail that's
Sets the
missing from
tone.
the game, bro.
I've
Yeah.
worked in the film
Honestly.
industry for over 15 years. The first movie I ever got a job on. This is behind the scenes of me. I'm doing this while I'm rapping, mind you. First job I ever got on was I Am Legend. I seen him shooting in Manhattan. I said, yo, y'all need extras? It was my key PA, Rebecca. She said, no, but I need PAs. I'm like, what the fuck is a PA? Gave me paperwork, be here 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. Pulled up 6 o'clock the next morning. I was a production assistant. I did that shit for years. Law and Order, like fucking romantic comedies, action films, you name it. I worked on them shits and I just soaked up films. I already like movies, but the production side of it,
Behind the
learning sides, seeing how scripts are broken down, storyboards, beginning, middle, end, act 1, 2, 3, the way you map out a story structure, I know all of it, and I learned it from being in that industry. So now I just take that and I apply it to the music videos because you got to do something visually. You got to do something different from what everybody else is doing. You understand what I'm saying? And me, I like just clean cinematic shit. You understand what I'm saying? I like movie feeling shit because at the end of the day, artist music is like an audio film. You understand what I'm saying? So there should be visuals that accompany that. How many times are we gonna see niggas in front of the corner store? How many times we gonna see niggas with the bad bitch on the balcony? Like, if he's with the bitch,
drill
she's
video
fucking
on
arguing with him or
Airbnb.
something. Like, do something else.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Facts.
saying?
Fake argument.
Do
Cut.
something else.
Facts.
Let's just make it different
That's
from
real.
what we doing. You understand what I'm saying? So I try to just change that up as far as that goes. And they just trust me with it now. You know what I'm saying? Rome was really the person who told me to really do it. For real, for real, for real. Like, he was the one like, nah, bro. He's like, nigga, you just need to direct everything, bro. He's like, just shoot it all, bro. Like,
Salute to Rome.
When I saw the trailer for Moonlight Marauders, I'm like, all right, y'all got something here.
yeah.
And I know a lot of that was your vision of how you wanted to frame the music that was coming out from Def,
Yeah.
what it could be in visual form. So it's like, and in this day and age where music videos are so generic, it's not even HD anymore. Everything feels low quality, and back in my day, low quality videos were fire. But now it's like, bro, like what are you doing?
All of them.
So to see where you going, yeah, bro, it was tough. So to see what you guys are doing and creating these videos, creating high quality visuals from a genre that people consider to not be the highest level, just shows that there's a lot more to be had in this space. Because when niggas hear bars, it's a stigma. So it's like when you see the visuals and it's like, all right, these guys are cooking some shit and they cooking some shit. It's not just like bum niggas with bars. Nah, nigga, we cooking over here. We got some shit. Tap the fuck
shit.
in. You know what I mean? It's deeper than what you think it is. The mumble niggas, they don't even care. Look at some of their videos.
I know you guys would want it to be Jan Sports and Incense all day, but it's not that.
Come on, bro.
This is still music at the end of the day. It's still an art form.
Come on. It's art.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We can't all be do-rags and Newports, nigga.
Hey, man.
For
there's
real.
some real shit behind this
and
shit.
be clear, we see that you guys are making the attempt to not scare the hoes. We've been talking about that on the Rap Roundtable for a few months now. It can't just be one way all the time. You got to bring the women involved. The women evolve the shit and level
They
it the
control
fuck
this
up.
shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
They run it.
Tone.
They run everything.
Yeah.
They do.
They run everything. Women run everything. If this was just a planet with just us, nigga, we wouldn't have haircuts. We wouldn't have fly clothes. We would be stinky, smelly, hairy, bummy
In
niggas.
huts.
Scrapping.
In huts.
Facts.
Trying to kill each other. No, we wouldn't even kill each other.
For what?
We only kill each other for
Money and joints.
Right.
money and women.
Yeah.
Why would
We would be harmonious, stinky, dirty niggas.
Yeah.
You're right. It would be fucking happiness.
No, it's not.
Harmonious,
Kinda.
dirty niggas. That's
Hey,
different.
Well, if it started out like that, we will be happiness. Now that we know the scent of a woman, you take that shit away from us, then we go crazy.
we start losing it.
Homicidal.
Then we get crazy because we have knowledge of it now.
Right.
But women run everything. Women dictate what is hot and what's not. It's kind of crazy, but it's true. Griselda has a great female following.
They do.
There's a lot of women that love Griselda.
Shout out Adri once again.
Yeah.
And these are same women who come from the same cloth and derivative that loved Wu-Tang.
Yeah.
Which is why Ice Cream was such a big hit record, and you had women with the butter pecan shirt and the dark chocolate shirt and the vanilla shirt because
Chocolate
they love
deluxe.
Wu-Tang. Do you know how many 40-year-old mothers there are with a Wu-Tang logo tattooed on them?
We saw them
Talk
at Barclays
about
Center.
it.
Okay?
Facts.
Peep the
Women
few.
dictate what's hot. It's the reason why Drake is who he is.
Talk about
It's
it.
the reason why J. Cole is able to go platinum with no features, because there are women investing into it just as much as men.
You
Not-
see, Walt, it's not just white people. I've been wrong this whole
No,
time.
no, it's not just white people.
It's women, man.
Although there's a great majority of white people. Like, here's the thing. The real purists are European people and white people. They're really the people who care to the fucking core. Like, we care because we were there, we seen it, we know what it smells like. But from an inspiration standpoint, middle America white people and European people, they just adore what we do. And it's because they come from a place beyond reach. They can't tap into it directly. So from
Right, either-
afar, all they can do is idolize.
Either they admire it or they're jealous of it.
Or exactly. But the jealousy things come from competing. That's when you try to get into the space. It's not going for you the way you want it to. So now you're mad.
Yeah.
That's another thing I have to deal with as being an artist manager. If there's anybody that I've worked with who's disgruntled with me, they expected something from me or wanted something from me that I didn't achieve to them in a certain time manner, so they bailed. Because you might not like the way I do things or the time fashion that I do things, but nigga, I fucking do things, nigga. And I get it done.
Comes back to trust.
It's always fucking results at the end of the day. I promise all of my artists from this point, I promise you, the next year from this date, you'll be doing something way different and more level from what you were doing the last year. And I deliver on that because I make it my duty to do so.
Respect.
So it's like, we know we care, but they just care a little bit more because they're not jaunted by the actual feeling of it and being in it and just trying to keep up with it.
They can just appreciate it.
They
for
can
what it is.
appreciate from afar.
Yeah.
I love when a fan is just a fan.
And to a certain extent, they're always like catching up because they're always like a few steps.
They're always a
behind.
few steps behind. They're always a few steps
It's
behind.
like how no New
Always.
Yorker has ever visited
But
the Statue of
internet-
Liberty.
Yeah. The internet sped shit up though. Like there
Yeah.
was a point in time where niggas were super behind. Like you literally had to get somebody to bring you a tape or a record or a CD for you to get logged in.
Right.
But now the internet, everything's so accessible. It's like a gift and a curse. It creates oversaturation and like flooding and like
Yeah.
clogging shit up. But at the same time, you have endless inspiration at your hands, but it's just not being used. These niggas is like kids with a gun. You know what I'm saying? They like a monkey with a gun now with this shit. Like niggas just see it. Oh man, I love his fucking music. Oh, he made me cry. I feel it to the core. Oh shit.
Next week,
I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, they got a mixtape.
Right.
And I learned this lesson a long time ago to detach myself from artist feeling with music. Like one time I'm at dinner. It's me. It's I'm where I feel
Oh.
yeah. We're having dinner, and a discussion about a song came up. About the song, and I'm like, "Yo, that song's fire! Like, you killed it. What made you?" Like, I hate these questions now as a manager. Yo, what made you write that like that? And the reason why I feel like this about that is because when I asked Alzu, said, I don't know. I just wrote that shit, bro. Like I wasn't even that big a deal. Like you felt like that? Like I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that discussion within itself, that's vaguely how the conversation went, but I'm just giving it to you in a lump sum. It made me realize, like, detach yourself from the passion about it. Because at the end of the day, sometimes it's just music to people.
Yeah.
So when I see someone, I know so many young artists, bro, that they just get this spark. Like it's now like this because there was a point where people didn't even feel like they could approach. Like they used to see artists on TV. Like there was a point in time where it was a discussion, it was like that's for special people. Like them niggas is chosen. Like, you know what I mean? Oh, he a ball player, he's special.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Know what you mean.
The idea of being able to try to really do it yourself wasn't really a thing.
Right.
Till now. So now everybody feel like they can participate. So they see it, they get inspired, and then they jump into the shit. You get what I'm saying? But it's a very thin line. Like being successful in this hip hop shit really substantially it's damn near like getting in the NBA. Like you really have to be working on your craft and honing your craft continuously.
24/7. Yeah.
So long story short, I love when a fan is just a fan. I love when I meet a person who is just a fan. Like I don't got no aspirations, no dreams to try to do this shit.
I just appreciate that
I just
you do
appreciate it. Let me buy a shirt. When's the next show? I'm coming. Let me buy this tape. Like I just want to support you and continue to see you thrive. If we had more of that in this realm, rap would be way more lucrative. It would be way more successful. We would not have gotten to the point to where not like it matters, but not a single fucking rap album got nominated for a Grammy. Niggas don't realize that this motherfucker is just nigga heaving and hoeing right now, nigga. Like this shit is getting real.
Talk about
Let a fan be a fan,
Coach,
bro.
We hate to cut this short. This just means we got to do a part 2.
Y'all
'cause
niggas
you
ain't
have a lot
having
to
that
say.
time. I told y'all I ain't having
We ain't
that time.
having
They was
enough
flexing,
time.
oh yeah, baby,
We just
yeah.
got the part 2.
It's
know
all
what
up the
I'm
wall,
saying?
baby. Baby.
What good is a movie if you don't get a sequel? But listen, where can the people find Coach Bombay on social media?
Coach Bombay 3000 on everything, man.
Talk about it.
Social Misfit, man. MGMT.
Bad influence.
Bad influence. You
Listen.
know what I mean? Shout out to Griselda. Shout out to Westside Gun. That's my brother. You know what I'm saying? Just stay logged in. If you don't know who Rome Streets is, get your Googles up. Get yourself correct, man. Tap in with the gang. Def Soldier, Bangs, Jizzy Blanco, T. Austin, Street of G, Raina Simone. You know what I'm saying? Everybody is fucking hot, nigga. Try it and
Soldado.
go ahead and look it up, nigga. See if I'm lying, bro. I ain't fucking lying, nigga. Everything that we say is true, and what we do is true, man.
Talk about
Try
it.
to make sure we right and exact and standing on 10 toes.
We've had
no
a
matter
front
what,
row
man.
seat to all of it, with fans, with support. We spar when we have differences of opinions.
Yeah,
you know
I
what
mean
I'm
that
saying?
shit, you know.
We love
this
it. But
nigga.
see, old New York, no,
We
He's
know.
a Laker.
I gotta
New
get
York,
back. I gotta get back in the group
Same.
chat, coach.
Yeah, he's a
man.
Laker. Yo, I'm only letting you in the fucking group chat if you engaged, bro. You gotta be engaged.
That's a fact. That's a
I got
fact.
you and Sin up out of there because y'all wasn't engaging,
Listen,
bro.
man.
That's a fact.
Jarv is engaging. Jarv? I got Jarv in 2 group chats.
Jarv engages.
That man is controversial, and I love it because it
The point
sparks
guard. The point
you know what I
guard,
mean?
man.
It sparks a conversation, and we'll have great debates in there. You know what I'm
Incomparable.
saying?
It ain't nothing like a good argument. New York niggas love to
nothing.
argue.
Yeah.
Y'all out of town.
We love getting our point
Niggas will
across.
argue
Love
breathing, bro.
to argue.
We love getting our point across.
You know what I'm saying?
We
But
need
this was
one
a fire
argument a day.
bill. Coach, we're gonna do this again real soon. You know how I feel about you, my nigga. I've been watching the movement, bro, and I love what you do.
Next
and
time I
you know
come
what I
back
mean?
up here, I'm gonna bring the whole gang with me.
Shit,
man.
salute.
Let's try to have one of them like Flex Hot 97 Cypher type
Talk about
You know we with it.
You know what I'm
Talk about
saying?
You know what I mean?
Going crazy over some
that
sincere
on a
beats,
sin
you heard?
beat.
To start it
On
sin up.
several sin
Crazy over
beats.
some sin beats.
I got some
Talk
shit
about
for
it.
that.
But Deanie, take us home, bro.
Yo, salute to our guest, Coach Bombay 3000. Follow that man. He's doing immense things for the culture.
Trying.
You know what I'm saying? Salute to Walt. Thank you, Walt, for not singing the rhythm.
Please,
You know what I'm saying?
We just owe you
appreciate
again. That's all.
That's
it is.
what I'm
Another
saying,
bottle
man.
of Patron or something might have to be on the way. Yo, salute to the homie. Tone,
Tone.
what up, baby?
What's good?
You know what I'm
Pretty
saying?
Tone.
Salute to
Having
you,
you.
brother.
Vibes.
Salute to Macito, Black Nardwar. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Voice of the industry, aka the Private Eye. I will find you.
I will.
Salute to Sincere, the Rap Snob. You hear the
The Rap
production.
Roundtable.
Coach, talk to this man, bro. There's so much heat in the tuck. You can listen to the episodes.
Super
Tap
producer.
into the placements. Talk to Sincere, the Rap Snob, man. Talk to him. Sincere Beats on the gram. Holla at him. Production extraordinaire. The facilitator.
Go.
On the job with the lobs. Jarv, the point guard. Never failing us, my brother. I'm Dean, the balance of the force. The handsomest nigga you ever met in your life.
Boy.
And with our powers combined, it's the Rap Roundtable. We fucking out of here,
Yes,
you
sir.
dig? Boom!
I mean, I must be doing all right because niggas keep saying Deanie my brother, so you know. You know what I mean? I'm doing okay. All right.
We out of here, man.
Salute.